Welcome on in to another virtual Woody variety show. I am so excited to be with you all here tonight. I got someone who I am excited for you all to talk to, and he's fantastic. This guy, I think you're really gonna dig. Let me turn my AC off. We got a banana man in the house with us tonight. We've got someone who I think of as a creative in sort of a multivariate, multi-hyphenate, and all-around interesting way. Hello, not 18-year-old? How old? What? What are you... I ran out of time. Let me see how I fare this week. Oh, mega! That's cool. I think I know what you're talking about. And thank you guys for thanks for the love on the model. I appreciate that. It's so great to see you all here. Oh, it's producer Rosie's in the chat tonight. Man, y'all, you guys are bringing some good energy, and I'm really excited. And you're gonna need it because it's worth it. Because our guest tonight is wonderful. I'm getting distracted. I'm trying to look at me like go back and forth between trying to introduce the guest and trying to read chat at the same time. Anyways, let's see here, and also I'm noticing that the chat bar is not up for you guys right now, so I'm wondering what's going on here. Oh, there we go. That's it. I see what the problem was. Yeah. We better behave now. That's how it works, Cable Jack. That's how it works. Tonight with us we have Lynn, the Bananiel Colville. We have AKA the Bananiel, AKA the Banana Manual, AKA Banana Man Jam, AKA I'm out of AKAs. But I'm really excited to bring him on. I'm really excited to talk to him. In brief, his credits to his name. The Bananiel is an opera singer, is a stage performer, is a vtuber, is somewhat of an entrepreneur, and is someone who I highly respect in terms of not only what they do, but also what they have to say and what they think. And I'm so excited to be able to share that with you guys tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on the Bananiel. Bananiel, how are you tonight?
Hello! I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on here.
Good. Let me bring your... Yeah, let me bring...
Oh, yeah. Also, I'm just going to own up to this real quick. I didn't know, but I know now. I wasn't following, but I am now.
Oh, you weren't following? Oh, no, that's okay.
I always figure I am and then find out that I'm not.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I have this terrible relationship with, like, I keep not noticing. One of the things I've been trying to do, and actually I've been doing on stream, is creating a really super cool way to like you know how like you get like alerts when followers come on and stuff. I've been building a smartwatch for my character that will alert me to new followers on the watch. And it's like we've made good progress with it, but I keep wanting to do it, but I don't even have like an overlay or anything that makes any noise. So people keep following, and I want to be like, hey, thank you for following, because I could see already now that I'm looking at it, like there's already people like we should thank some followers right now, like Cray Cray Daisy, Big Daddy Dreamer, and of course the Bananiel at this point.
Thank you.
So thank you guys, and welcome on in. We're gonna have a rip roaring good one tonight.
It should be a bang up time.
Yeah. Do you want to explain why you sound like you're in the middle of a cathedral?
Yeah. It's funny, but I always get asked, oh, do you have your vocal effects on? And no, I do not have my vocal effects on. Unfortunately, I'm in a very, very empty room, and as such, I am in a deep, dark cathedral of catacomb danger. But it's how I like it, I guess. But once I'm done moving, I should once again return to my dark, dank, and sound dampened cavern.
It sounds like you're gonna get moldy.
I mean, as long as I continue absorbing my eldritch sacrifices, I should be able to stay young forever.
That's what's been keeping him that perfect yellow in that space between green and brown.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
Optimal ripeness.
All right, so the first thing I do when I bring people on Well, the first thing I should do is we should talk about the nature we should of the virtual Woody variety show. So what we got for you tonight is an interview with this brilliant person. We're going to be talking about this banana. We're going to be talking about his thoughts on being a VTuber, about creativity, and whatever else we come across, because I think he and I could probably go tit for tat for a while in terms of just coming up with some goofy stuff.
Shooting it back and forth, yeah.
Yeah, but we'll try to curtail that slightly because we'll be playing a game show tonight.
Yes.
The Bananiel is going to be playing one of our favorite in-house games. We're going to be playing the Wheel of Chaotic Prompts. So stick around because we'll talk for like an hour, hour and a half, whatever, if we can contain ourselves, and then we'll make our way on over to the wheel, and then we'll be doing that. And I'm excited because we haven't played the wheel game in a long time.
Oh yeah, it looks like a lot of fun.
I was particularly excited for you to play it, sir. I think you're gonna kill it.
I'll do my best.
Well, fantastic. I always start by asking folks like how they got into things and asking sort of an introductory question. I think you, like me, have been doing creativity for a very long time. So I'm going to start with like a augmented question. What made you choose to be a banana VTuber?
Okay, so that's actually a funny story. So the name Bananiel comes from my high school escapades. When I was in high school, my senior year, I had a 0 period, and my 0 period was my choir class. And what ended up happening was I would get there early, and there would be 2 other people there. And my actual holding screen when I'm offline, that really like hyper realistic man banana, that was drawn by that friend in high school because I would bring a banana with me for breakfast every day. This information's out there, so I'm not like doxing myself, but my real name's Nathaniel. And so because of that, because I would bring a banana for breakfast every day, I became dubbed the Bananiel. I
was guessing it was Daniel.
Oh yeah, no, it's Nathaniel.
Gotcha.
So combine Nathaniel, combine banana, you get yourself a Bananiel. Okay. And the other reason was I didn't see any other banana VTubers. When I first got started, I was literally now there's a couple more, which is so cool, but I was the only banana, and I'm like, that is a market share I will happily take.
Yeah. So not only are you a banana VTuber, but you're not the only banana singing VTuber that I know. I think some introductions probably should be made at some point. But
most definitely.
But I feel like one of the things that I love is seeing like VTuber communities. Like when I see like, how like there's the VTuber Goblin Clan and like the VTuber Dwarves. Like I think that you should make a banana choir.
That would be amazing. I will say there is something in the works in regards to a lot of food tubers called the Snack Pack, but that's about all I'll say.
That's awesome. I want to know more, but if that's all you'll say, all right.
Yeah, we're still in the midst of Hannah Banana. I see you.
Yeah, you should get to know Hannah. Hannah's doing some really cool stuff. Hannah's another Unreal Engine artist here. And but she makes music videos and
a fellow singing banana, incredible.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like there should be a banana choir here. I'm gonna Hannah a little shout out here.
I guess you could say it's required.
It's still astounding to me how produced that your room sounds. Like that seems insane. That's
how you do it. That's how you got to do it.
Yep. All right. All original effects. Like I'm just imagining you in like a bomb bunker. You know what I mean? Like
just imagine I'm in a bomb bunker, and in the distance you hear gently. I don't want to set the world on fire. And you got the whole ambiance.
There we go. Yeah. Some like post Cold War alternate reality
vibes in here.
Something like that. Okay. Yeah. So and that's the superficial of it, right? So let's go deeper behind the peel. How did you get to the place? I would say, what do you think it is about you as a person that draws you into being a performer?
I love making people smile. And I know that's such a oh, he does it for the people. I love the way it makes me feel when people smile because I did something. I'm not gonna pussyfoot around and pretend like I don't get something out of it, because I 100% do. I receive gratification and satisfaction when I do when someone applauds, when someone smiles because I did something, when someone laughs. That is pure energy going directly into my veins, and it's never been I want to be the center of attention, but I don't mind being the reason for people smiling. That I can do.
Yeah, I think it's important to like have that sort of self-reflection about stuff like that, because that's important, right? If you do what
Yeah,
you do
I
because of like egomaniacal drive, then that's no good. But
Yeah, and I think, well, I mean, I think what matters is that you're at least honest with it, because a lot of performers will like, and I think we see it a lot, especially in like the big Hollywood performers and whatnot. They'll sort of play this card of, I do it for the people, and that's the only reason. And that's not true. Anyone who says that is trying to sell you something. We
yeah,
all get something out of it. That's why we do it.
right.
And I think it's important to recognize what you're getting out of it and why you enjoy doing it. Because you know what? If you enjoy performing because you're good at it and you get paid a lot for it, that is also okay. That's not a bad thing. So I think it's important to, yeah, take a step back and go, why do I really like this? And I like the feeling I get when I make people smile. And there you go. Yeah, exactly. If you tell a joke in the class and you get the whole classroom to laugh, it feels powerful. 100%. That is exactly the energy that it gives me.
Yeah, but I think also like there's something satisfactory about just like transporting joy to another person.
It's magic. People who say magic doesn't exist. I'm sitting here, and let me ask you a question. When I did the I don't want to set the world on fire, did anyone smile in chat? Because if you did, I just magically influenced you to smile.
I mean, I smiled. I was having a good
See,
time
there
with
you
that.
go. And that's how you do it. Magic exists, but just because we understand it doesn't mean it's not magic anymore.
Yeah,
And
I think almost like you could get a working definition of magic off of being something that temporarily becomes hard to explain. You know?
yeah, when you can establish a sense of bewilderment in someone because of something you've done or something you said, that sounds like magic to me.
Right, right. Yeah. There's this word that I like. There's transrational, like having an experience that is sort of goes beyond like the explicable, and it that happens in big ways and small ways, and being human means that you're not always like being a meat more computer all the time. And that's kind of a big thing here for me with the Woody Dev stuff, because like, well, I like, the thing I like to do the most is like make cool new technology. It's like,
Yeah.
it's no good if you can't impart the experience to other people. Like if I can't sit down and have a great conversation with you, what's the point? Because, like the reason I'm here is because I want to make an impact too. You know what I mean? Like it makes me really happy when I'm sharing that thing, that effect with people. It's not going to be as simple as singing a little song. Like usually it's going to involve me, like doing a whole bunch of coding and coming back and then being like, gulp. All right, I hope this works.
I
But
hope this works. Yeah, but
yeah,
those experiences that you're creating, it's for the same reason. You enjoy giving people that. Whoa! I've never seen something like this before. This is so neat.
right. But like same as you, like I'm like just excited about that I can share that joy with people.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's great. That's cool. Did you have like a first experience or something, like when you first noticed this? Like was there like a moment, like a place in time where it all
Yes.
crystallized?
I was 5 years old, and it was actually my first stage performance ever. When I was in kindergarten, we did a production of a play called Chicken Soup with Rice. And it's all, if anyone's ever heard of that, it's just about a kid eating chicken soup with rice in a bunch of different countries. But we started it with this, the Days of the Year song that we sang. And I actually got to be the MC that introduced everything. I was chosen out of the class. I got to wear a little suit, and I got to go up and go, welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Nathaniel. I'll be your MC for tonight. We're going to start off with a little performance of a song called The Months of the Year. So please sit back, relax, and prepare for the show. And everyone, woo, yeah, little dude, he's introducing things. That's so cool. That was sort of the moment I was like, hey, this is kind of neat.
I can't believe you still remember your lines.
I mean, those probably weren't the exact ones.
I'm
But
kidding. I know. I know.
I've MC'd enough that it's regurgitated.
Yeah, I was figuring that you were sort of extrapolating.
Paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, and that was sort of the performance that solidified that I wanted to do that again. I wanted to reclaim that feeling again.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, that's interesting because, like, not to tell too many of my own stories, but like I remember being 6 in kindergarten and being given a role in the school play, and like after that, I was kind of like, this is not my thing. I do not like this.
Yeah, you know, it's and that's not a bad thing whatsoever. I think it's important. One, I think everyone should do something like that at some point, because I think it's just one of those universally human experiences that I think if you do it, you will come out a better person, whether you enjoyed it or not. So I highly recommend doing some semblance of stage performance to anyone. But I'm glad you went through that experience because you were able to determine that it wasn't for you. And that is a great thing to be able to determine because that means you can focus on other things that are for you.
Yeah, totally. Like
Yeah.
I had to like make a VTuber of myself in order to be, having a good time as a VTuber, I guess. Someone's saying that you must have some pretty awesome parents.
That would be my dad.
Shout out parents in the chat. We love it.
Yep. Cray Cray, Big Daddy, thanks for being here. That's my mom and dad. They're in the house with me right now, so if they really wanted to, they could come up here and bother me.
I don't know what you're inviting. Like maybe knock on wood or something.
Oh no, there's no protection. If it happens, I just have to. I help me.
You just got to deal with it if that's what.
I'm blinking 2 times. That means help. Nah, they're wonderful. They've been nothing but supportive. Even as early as 5 years old, that was my first show, and they showed up to every show I was ever in thereafter.
That's cool. It's not surprising to me that as a VTuber you're still like cool telling people your name and stuff like that. You seem like you're just very confident.
I'm already out there. Like the name, nothing. I've been on TV before. I've done these things before. So as far as my name is out there, I have no reason to hide it anymore. And I'm so used to performing IRL that even now I still do both IRL and VTubing performances. Because there's something about singing or performing, that sort of thing. There are certain things I can do with my face, with my body, to impart emotion, to impart. It's part of performance that I can't do with a VTubing avatar yet. I'm sure it'll get there to that point eventually, but where it's at right now, it's just I'm way too expressive for a VTubing avatar.
Yeah, I mean, embodiment's a huge chunk of it. I like with my character, that's something I'm thinking about a lot, is like I don't like have all the blend shapes. Like I wanted to make something pretty simple when it started out, but like it's funny how like, suddenly getting the ability to like move in full 3D, which is something else I do. I don't set it up for videos like this because I get really uncomfortable, or streams like this because I get, I'm sitting there for so long, and like I'm using the leap motion now, but if I like, here, like got my leap hands and stuff like that, which is all very cool and stuff. And but it's uncomfortable to sit with like in a tracking suit or with a bunch of trackers on.
Suit or wearing the VR headset. It's like, that's not.
Yeah. Oh man, no, it gets a little bit much.
It gets tiring.
That actually brings me to how we met, doesn't it? Because I like VR games and you like VR games.
Oh yeah, I am a bit of a VR junkie.
That's right. You because I think it's because I feel like I'm pretty heavily into it, but like every once in a while I will message you and I'll be like, hey, have you played this? Or like, do you have a recommendation for this? And like you always do.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I actually had a really cool experience that made me fall in love with VR. I went to an anime convention in 2014, and at the time, Oculus was showing off one of their early headsets there. They had a single game set up called Classroom Aquatic, where you played as a student in an underwater dolphin classroom with an orca teacher. You were taking a test, and you had to cheat on the test without getting caught by the orca teacher.
Whoa.
It was such an interesting concept and so fascinating to play. And when I played it out, as soon as I played it, I knew that VR was most likely going to become the realistic future of gaming. As soon as I was like, this is what we've been waiting. This is the holodeck. This is what we've been fantasizing about for so long. It's in its early iteration, but it's coming. And that was that surefire sign. So after that day, I started hardcore watching and monitoring how the how the industry was kind of going. And I ended up picking up one of the Windows mixed reality headsets originally because I was on a budget. Then I went to an HTC Vive. Then I picked up into Quest 2, and now I use my Index as my primary headset. But I have been following along and dipping in. I genuinely think it's where gaming's going. And so I had to jump on the train.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, and I don't want to like tease anything because like I don't know, I'm still kind of like putting together my September bit by bit here. I'm like sort of getting back on the horse this week, but I have a VR game idea, and I'd really like to make a Woody Devs VR project. And I think I have like a little bit of a battle plan that I've been sort of amassing, and I think I might be tempted to make something VR soon. And of course, it would have to be something that everyone in chat could like generate stuff in the world of course.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be something that that's something I'm very very closely considering. Would you?
Very interesting.
We should see if I could make you something fun that you'd like enjoy to play.
I have really, really wanted a Twitch integrated VR game where people can, spawn power-ups or spawn enemies, and you can have maybe half the chat is the bad guys, half the chat are the good guys, and half the chat can give you things, half the chat can give you enemies, and give you debuffs or things like that. I thought that would be such a fascinating idea, where basically you're an NPC that the chat gets to influence.
That's nice. Maybe in honor of this stream, we'll make it like bananas or the health. Piece or something like that.
Bananas are the health, but they're also the enemies.
Something like that. Yeah, the VR thing's interesting because I feel like there's not like it's still a really great time to be an indie VR dev. Like
most definitely, especially with so many things that are coming. Like one of the biggest thing on the horizon right now, which is a god tier thing for indie devs, is the fact that Bone Labs is coming out, and it's becoming open source, which means people can start using that highly detailed physics engine in a bunch of different games. I saw someone remake the original Metal Gear Solid inside the Bone Labs engine.
I haven't. Wow,
it's amazing.
That's crazy. Yeah, that will probably take things up a notch because I'm interested in that because I know because Bone Labs is the sequel to Boneworks, and yes. Boneworks is very much like a Unity engine project as far as I remember.
Boneworks was it was not. It's funny. Boneworks is not a game. Boneworks is a demonstration. It's showing off the outward potential of what VR can do. That was the point. That's why it's not an experience that's for people that can't play the hardcore VR experiences. It's an experience to show you the lengths of which VR can go to at this point. And Bone Labs is looking to take that and make it that much better, but they've also, the fact that they're making it open source is beautiful.
Right, totally. Because, that's
what VR's been missing. It's been missing a reliable, because like a lot of other games have reliable engines or reliable things that they can build off of right now, which is why you see a bunch of indie games that come out. But in the VR space, there hasn't been that reliable operating system that people can utilize to make their games yet. So I'm hoping Bone Labs can become that.
Yeah, I think so, because it is kind of weird when you're playing a VR game for a really long time and you jump into a different VR game and the controls are different and you can't do as much stuff.
They're so vastly different, yeah. Either it's a little more rigid so it doesn't work as well, or maybe it's better than the prior game. So when you go back to the one before, it just feels a little more clunky. I've noticed that with a lot of like the medieval combat games. You got games like Blade and Sorcery, or games like Tales of Glory, or games like Until They Fall. All these games have that medieval combat feel, but they all feel so vastly different. And that's not good or bad. It's the Wild West of VR right now. So we're getting people testing out a million different styles and a million different ideas. And I'm hoping, though, that we'll start seeing more concrete ideas come out when people don't have to worry about the engine anymore.
Yeah. No, I think so. I mean, even just like, for me, speaking on the Unreal side of things, there's some really great starter packs out there, both paid ones and even just the stuff that you can get going, like, just in the starter pack for Unreal is pretty neat. I've modded some of that. Well, it's not modding if it's in the game engine, but I've augmented a lot of that stuff to be able to add a few more features, and it was not as hard as I thought it might be. So I'll keep you informed in the DMs if I end up coming up with
definitely,
anything cool with
whatever you come up with, I'd be happy to test things out.
Yeah, because like also Valve Index family, you know what I mean? Like you've got the same hardware I do.
I got them thingy trackers.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Well, that's man. Talking to VR is one of my favorite things.
Oh, yeah.
It's something I feel like I know enough about to talk intelligently about. But one thing I don't know very well and can certainly not talk very intelligently about, but here I go anyway. Is talking about opera, and yeah, I want to turn over a leaf here. You are an opera singer.
Yes.
So I know people who are performers, who are theater kids, who are improvers, who like to perform and stuff like that. But I know very few people who have gone into the opera distinction.
Yeah.
What led to that?
I think it's something that was inside of me, and I think it's something that came out because when I was growing up, I was bullied. I dealt with some pretty bad bullying problems, and because of that, you feel this sense of powerlessness that just it sort of comes with that sort of thing that happens. And as I got more confident in myself, as I started feeling myself sort of become stronger mentally, physically, opera makes me feel powerful. It makes me feel strong because it takes strength to do opera. You need an inner strength. It's this. If you've ever heard like Luciano Pavarotti, who's one of the most famous opera singers of all time.
Yep.
If you've ever heard his voice, and there is so much emotion and raw power that just emanates from this guy, and it's unquestionable confidence. When Luciano when he hits the Vincero, when he hits that big note and he's belting it at the top of his lungs, good Lord, there's not a single, I don't care if you hate the man, there's not a single person in that room who won't say, wow, that is powerful. And that it gives me a sense of victory, a sense of accomplishment, a sense of confidence that no other style of music has ever given me, honestly.
Yeah. That's fascinating. I was talking to, this is a number of years back. I got to talk to this. It was kind of weird how it happened, but I was having a conversation with this creative director from the UK who is like was like an OG ad man and a brilliant photographer. And according to him, he was one of the first people to figure out that opera and football could go together. He was like one of the first people to try and cut an ad for, what they would call football, soccer for us.
Yeah.
But like to put opera behind it. Like he put Pavarotti on the track, with the film, and like that became a thing. And it's like, of course it did, because of all of this power.
Yeah, exactly. What you did was you took something powerful and you put it on something that you wanted to be powerful, and that's why that is a match made in heaven right there.
Yeah, which is interesting because like there's sort of a like. That's not the first thing I think of, honestly. Like, when you talk about opera stuff, like, I don't necessarily think of the power of opera. Like, I think of the, almost more of the... I'm looking for an antonym here. You know what I mean? I'm looking for...
Oh, yeah. Less of the power, more the soft parts.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
The like...
See, and those are very important. And it's important to notice those. Yeah, the weakness is important because the weakness is what gives light to the strength.
Or the vulnerability of it, perhaps.
It's sort of a, you can't know what good feels like if you've never experienced bad, because good is just normal if you've never experienced the opposite. So when in an opera song, you have those moments where, like for example, in that song that I just sang, that's Nessun Dorma, leading into the final crescendo, it isn't just Vincera loud the whole time. It starts off with, he says it 3 times, Vincera, which means victory. He says, Vincero, Vincero, Vincero. And he goes into that big note at the end. And that big note hits 1,000,000 times harder because the 2 prior build up. The first one, small, soft. The second one, stronger, crescendoing. The last one, boom! That's the one.
Yeah, right.
And it's important to have that dichotomy of sound because that is what it delivers, this punch of pizzazz, of power that just, whoa!
Well, you know what else it's like? It's like when you're, like some people maybe in chat can relate to this. Like if anyone has like a dad who will like isn't as scary like loud as he is quiet or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
When it's like everybody
like when dad's
out.
yelling, you know he's just upset about stubbing his toe. But when dad says, "You get down here right now," you're like,
Yeah.
What did I do?
Shout out to my dad. My dad's not like that. It's not really a dynamic I have in my family. My dad just turned
Yeah.
60 today, so shout out to my dad.
Oh wow! Congrats.
Yeah, no, he's not here, and I wish he was. I should have invited him. That's on me. But you're right. There's like sort of a divine paradox in there of the nature of it. To me, honestly, the thing that seems most powerful about the whole experience is like, and I know this from talking to you. Like one of the first conversations we had, I was like, "Tell me how to watch opera because like I'm gonna go see one soon," and I didn't end up getting to see it because it rained out.
Yeah.
But like, but to me, what's like perhaps courageous and inspiriting about opera or inspiring is that the like no one really knows what the words mean except for maybe like Italian people half the time, and then obviously not all operas are in Italian, but like you know, some of them will be...
most of those famous ones are, so
right.
It's a safe assumption that Italian's the language of choice.
Right. So the that being said, like for someone to get up and sing takes courage, but for someone to get up and sing words that most people are not even going to understand and possibly not even them, like that's a big deal. Like that's, you know, like karaoke's one thing, but they give you the words at the bottom of the screen and everybody knows the song, you know?
Yeah. When you go up and you sing "Don't Stop Believin'," you don't have to worry about if your message is going to get across.
Right. It's like we've all heard Wonderwall.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But with opera, like that's, and to be honest, like it's still, it's something I want to like more than I do like. Like I think I would be lying if I was sitting here being like, oh, I'm such a big fan of opera, Bananiel.
Opera fan, yeah.
But I'm really not. But I am fascinated by the nature of people who would like get up and do it though. Like
and I would say opera is definitely one of those things that doesn't have a hardcore following or anything. It has a dedicated following of people who appreciate music and like that sort of thing. But most of the time, opera is one of those things that a majority of the people can appreciate, even if they don't particularly like it. Actually, would you mind giving me just 1 second real quick?
Oh, yeah, do your thing.
Yeah, I'll be back in just a jiffy.
You're all good. All right. Yeah, opera that's not like I kind of, like, now I kind of want to do it. Like, I kind of wonder what I would sound like. I also don't completely understand what is going on with the human voice and, like, why does opera sound so different? It's kind of like how I don't really have a good definition for yodeling. Yeah, it's fascinating. I don't know why he was pulled away. Maybe Cray Cray Daisy and Big Daddy Dreamer are causing some trouble back there. Are y'all being good?
They're being good.
All right, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just for clarification, I have a gallon of water that sits next to me at all times, and I do drink it.
That's awesome. I have just like a little thing here, just to, you know. I used to have a big gallon sort of thing, and then now I have so much technology in front of me, I have to use a sports water bottle so that no accidents happen.
Yeah, so that doesn't spill. That makes sense.
I had a laptop scare last year, and it was like, never again. Like we're getting
not gonna go through that one again.
Yep. Nope. No open bottles as much as I can help it. Let's just have, you know, the squirt and spray one.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah, that sounds gross. Anyways.
It does, unfortunately. But hey, you said it, and now everyone should clip it.
Oh, no, you don't have to do that. That seems unnecessary.
You don't have to, but you can.
Yeah, that's always a thought. All right, what's something that most people don't know about you?
I am 25% Vietnamese.
Oh.
Most people don't know that because I look like a giant white guy. My grandpa was a 6'2" German man, and my grandma's a 5 foot Vietnamese woman. So apparently those genes were a bit stronger and were expressed more. But what's really nice is, and it's the weirdest application of this, but I actually speak a little bit of Vietnamese. I speak numbers and foods. So when I go and order, the waitress will come up to this big white man and be like, what would you like? And they expect a number 15. I'm like, can I get the bong chai tong tic nu? And they'll go, what? And basically that's a vermicelli rice noodle dish with egg rolls, barbecue pork, shrimp. It's like a chilled salad type dish, and it's freaking delicious. Highly recommend it. But what ends up happening, they go, how do you know that? Why did you just say those words? It's sort of, Martha, why did you say that name? But
oh, that's a terrible reference.
It is a terrible reference, but it's terribly funny. But yeah, no. So I'll show them a picture of my grandma, and then they end up actually giving me like free egg rolls and stuff most of the time.
Oh, that's
which is really cool. But yeah, no, that's something that most people don't actually know about me.
Yeah. Oh man, getting in good with restaurant owners is always a move. That's always like
that's the big brain. That's the big brain plan. That's how you get. Exactly. That's how you get that special treatment.
Exactly. Oh, exactly. Gotcha. What do you like? Do you feel like all of these experiences that you've had as a performer and stuff, you feel like do you feel like they've changed your approach to streaming when compared to like the way other VTubers or streamers do it?
I would most definitely say so. I would say that for anyone, their background is heavily going to influence how they approach something like content creation. Because I had the performance aspect kind of already down, I know how to perform in front of people. And I feel like a lot of people, especially in the VTubing scene, this is their first time attempting performance. And they're using VTubing because maybe they're not too comfortable putting themselves out there like that. So having that avatar, having that slight bit of separation between audience and self is enough to give them the courage to step up and try content creation, which is awesome. But because I don't have those hangups, because I've sort of already been through the gamut, I've been heckled, I've dealt with all that stuff in real life, those things that might be roadblocks for another content creator just aren't there for me. So it allows me to, I get to circumvent the learning curve in that regards, which means I get to dive into things a little bit deeper immediately. And that 100% is going to benefit you. That's just there's no way it couldn't.
Yeah, that makes sense. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was your Daily Dose of Potassium series, where, yes, for context, on Twitter, you forego the whole banana persona and you just put your meat face out there and you talk about some trends that you're seeing, usually about like what people are saying in the streaming space and like your thoughts on things. And every single time you post one of those, I'm like, damn, I like his take. Nice. I like that.
And that's what I'm hoping. And I don't think they're all going to be banger takes. Hell, some of them are just something stupid that just crossed my mind. But since I am in the process of moving right now, and because of all that, I know that I don't have time to dedicate to long form content, big streams, things like that. So I wanted to be able to produce small tidbit content that had some chutzpah to it. It wasn't just throwaway, I say poopy on TikTok and everyone loves it. I wanted it to have some substance. I wanted to have some actual meaning to it, but I needed it to be easy. I knew that. And I'm comfortable enough showing my face. So I don't need to set up all my VTubing stuff. I can just pop on the camera, record it directly through Twitter, post it on there. And there's always something to talk about on Twitter. There's always something going on. There's always some happening that I feel like a lot of the times people might be scared to say something about, just because, controversy can be a scary thing, especially online in an era when, saying just the wrong thing at just the right time can ruin everything. So I feel like sometimes people are a little afraid to talk about that, but it's one of those things. Once you've been heckled in person, I don't care what you say online. So I have no qualms speaking up about potentially hot button issues or anything like that. And I think sometimes it helps because I don't think I come at any of the issues from this person's right and this person's wrong, and that's the only way there is to it. I feel like
are you positive you're not using a filter right now?
I am not. No. If you'd like to hear what it sounds like when I use a filter, there is a difference. But
it feels like you're playing the room.
I think the room's playing me.
Okay.
But I don't think most of my takes are like, there's a hard right or a hard wrong in the situation. I like to look at it from not a devil's advocate point of view, but just from a point of view that takes everyone's point of view into account. Instead of just saying, I'm only going to look at what this person said and analyze what this person said. Let me look at both sides of whatever this argument is and kind of come to a conclusion that makes sense. And I'm hoping that even if one person watches it and gets like you know what, this helped me, that's worth it. Every single one of these that I've made is worth it if one person gets something out of it.
Yeah, and that one person has been me every time. So
Oh.
that's
Oh shucks.
mission fulfilled. Yeah, sometimes you put words to something I've been thinking about in a really nice way. So go follow Bananiel on Twitter. Man, yeah, I gotta let's get a,
I will say a funny story about my Twitter handle. So my Twitter handle is at the OG Bananiel, because the Bananiel was taken, and I was like, oh man, that's okay. So I'll be at the OG Bananiel. Come to find out, it was taken by me 3 years prior. Whoops.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's really good. That's really good. You're like, who is that? Who's that annoying?
Who is this annoying handsome man?
And why is he so good looking? Yeah, let's hold on. I'm trying to bring up a shout out for you. I don't have all your socials like locked into the system, but I hope you have your hope you have everything sort of like tied into your Twitch, because we'll do a little bit of
yeah. If you go to my Twitch, then the little Twitter icon will take you straight to the Twitter sphere.
Yeah, let's see here. Where are you? Yeah. Shout out the Bananiel.
No space.
Ooh, yeah. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. It's like that whole it not being your first rodeo thing is helpful. And I've noticed the same thing. Like, the whole thing is Woody Devs. Like, I'm doing, a lot of developer stuff, but my background's filmmaking. Like, I've been putting together videos for a really long time, and professionally for a long time. I've been getting paid to make content for almost a decade now, something like that. And it definitely helps. It definitely helps to have like a bunch of hours in, to have
experience matters significantly. That's like one of the things that people talk to me about sometimes. They'll come to me and ask me, how do you deal with stage fright? And they say, it doesn't seem like you're afraid at all when you go up on stage. That is the biggest fallacy that exists. Every time I perform, it's like the first time all over again. All that happens is the more you do it, the more experience you acquire, the easier it is to deal with that feeling. It has nothing to do with that feeling no longer existing. It has nothing to do with that feeling no longer being as intense as it was before. It has to do with your experience giving you the tools to deal with it more effectively.
That's interesting, because I feel like for me, like definitely for streams, but also like anytime in the real world I have to talk in front of people, I'm kind of like, I do this thing where I feel like I just will kind of like bullshit myself and the audience about why I should be up there, I guess. Like, if I feel like whenever I get like that feeling, I'm kind of just like, nope, we're just gonna get up there and we're gonna do whatever happens, and I'm gonna be fine with it. But then again, I usually in these situations don't have any lines or anything like that. I'm just kind of usually just kind of like, yeah, you know what? Let's just start the show. I'm gonna say whatever I need to say, and we're gonna bring a Bananiel out here because like whenever I can get to a place of like just sort of like asserting whatever, putting myself in the scene, then like whatever happens next kind of just it's fine.
It just happens.
Yeah. It's all good. So, that's like a, I guess a go between. Like, I feel like I do actually have advice for people on stage fright, but like, there's something to both of those things, right? Especially I mean, it depends on what you're doing too.
Yeah, I was gonna say it depends on what you're actually doing on stage, because public speaking and public performance are definitely two very different things in regards to what it takes to do. It's easier to public speak than it is to perform, because performing is public speaking, but people are trying to judge you.
Yeah, that was good or not. They're writing the article while you're.
Yeah, exactly. And as you perform, they'll start changing the verbiage. Hopefully, you're doing well.
Yeah. Yeah, man. What's the most challenging stage experience that you've had?
The most challenging stage experience?
Yeah.
It's funny. The most challenging stage experience was also the most rewarding stage experience I ever had. I was a part of a theater group called TSOCal, the Theater Experience of Southern California. And we were doing Wizard of Oz. So basically the way it works is it's a theater program for kids, but they have the kids play roles like the Munchkins in Oz, and then the adults fill in the adult roles. And so I came in and I auditioned for The Lion. Now, I had done a couple of productions with this crew before, but this was the first time that someone auditioned for the lion that wasn't that the director. Usually the director just played the lion because of how difficult of a role it was. I was the first person ever in the history of this theater program to play the lion that wasn't Chris, our director. So I had some shoes to fill. There were some expectations put upon me, but I met those expectations. I exceeded those expectations, and I feel like I did a really, really good job. It ended up being the most rewarding, but also the most stressful theater experience I ever had.
So, like, what was challenging about it was just, like, living up to the legacy and the
Yeah, there were certain expectations. It's when you step into anybody's shoes, you know, when you get a job and the person you're replacing was really good at it, they're going to expect you to do as good a job as they did, if not better. Otherwise, why would you replace them? And sort of that being, especially in theater, which is a lot more cutthroat in that regards, I had to make sure that I was on my A game. I had to make sure that my harumphs were just right. And that's it made me become my best self, because I do well when I have a goal. I do well when I have something that is pushing me to do better. And that's exactly what that was.
I feel that. I feel like if you don't have a goal that scares you, it feels like you're not really moving.
Yeah, if you don't have a goal that scares you, it means you're not challenging yourself.
Yeah.
Because doing something you know you can do, I mean, it can be scary, but it shouldn't be scary. It's like, if you've done it before and it works, then whatever fear was involved with it before should be fairly evaporated, unless you're skydiving. You should always be afraid every time you do that, because for obvious reasons.
Right.
But for something like, you know, like making a dish you've never made before for dinner. After you've made it the first time, any apprehension, as long as it went well, any apprehension you have shouldn't really be there anymore. You're clearly capable of doing it, and you did it.
That's actually when I mess it up, because I'm like, I know how to.
Too comfortable.
Yeah, no, immediately I'm like, whatever, you know, I've made this stir fry before, and then I like forget to use soy sauce, and like it's like you know, like I made I'll make brownies out of a pan one time, and then the next time I do it, I'll forget to put eggs in, and I'll get like, you know, these like basically these chocolate tortilla chips come out.
Yeah, I was gonna say these chocolate briquettes.
Yeah, totally. I don't know, but like I'm awful at it, and I don't take it too seriously.
Hey, yeah, it's just a fun thing you could do. But like, yeah, no. Once you do something and it's successful, it's important to, as the person who did it, recognize that you successfully did that. That should even if it doesn't completely quell whatever fears you had, it should at least start pushing you in the direction where you become more comfortable with it.
Yeah, and I guess it's funny because like maybe you and I are just in opposite things, because I feel like you keep mentioning things where I'm like, oh yeah, that doesn't freak me out, but then like there's probably like some of the stuff you're saying, like I'm like, oh like I bet this would kind of freak him out, but like it depends on kind of what you take seriously too, I guess too, because like the cooking example,
it definitely varies from person to person, because like cooking, that doesn't scare me in the slightest. I can cook anything, experiment with anything, and I don't care.
Yeah, I just like, I'm so bad at it, I don't really have ego about it. Like, I don't want to do it because it's inconvenient mostly, but like,
yeah.
But like I can, because like, who cares? Like, you know, like, if I fail, it's not really important. Like, I'm more scared. Yeah. I'm more scared about the fact that I recoded the Wheel of Chaotic prompts tonight, and you're gonna play it.
You just answered your question as to why you're feeling this way about these things that don't scare you. It's because they're things you're not particularly passionate about. The things that you are passionate about do scare you, because you do care if you do it well, because you're passionate about it. And it's like, man, I really enjoy doing this, and I want to do it good. It's like when you play a game and you're not good at it, even though you want to, so you stop playing the game.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's that same thing. You're passionate about coding and that sort of thing. So the things that you do that involve those things, that's what you're probably most nervous about succeeding or failing.
Right. Totally.
Just as a singer, the thing they're most scared about succeeding or failing is their actual performance.
But it's backwards, because like, but that's like, it's silly, because like, whatever that thing is, this like the thing you have the most of to bring to the table. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
And that's why you're the most scared. If you come out and you say, I'm a professional chef, I've worked in the cooking industry for 20 years, and I'm going to be making dinner for you tonight, and you burn the food.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, oh, no, oh, come on, man.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be more embarrassing. It's
Yeah,
like
well,
it
well,
like
well,
increases the range, right? It's like winning can be
yeah.
that much more rewarding and losing can be that much more
Yeah,
embarrassing.
and the better you get at something, the higher the chance of success you have.
Right.
But the better you get, it's sort of a scaling level of failure and success. Because when you have a 99% chance to succeed, that 1% chance of failure is going to be a bad failure. It's going to be the worst failure you can think of.
Yeah. That too. Yeah. At the same time, I don't want to go back and forth too hard on this. It feels like, especially for someone like you who is um very good at you've been performing for a long time. So like we were talking
Yeah.
right before this kicked off and you're like, "Hey, I'll talk about anything, like no worries, like whatever, notes you sent over, like I'm not going to like like you can just ask me whatever you want and stuff. I'm
Yeah.
comfortable." And I'm like, this dude's improv skills are got to be pretty tight to feel comfortable with that. Cuz like I do have some things I don't like to talk about on streams and stuff, but I'm mostly the same. But like yeah, I like certain things though, and maybe again it's just like a low stakes thing. I feel like sometimes I have enough resources that like whatever everyone's gonna throw at me, like I probably got enough with me to fight my way out.
Exactly. Yeah. And if I don't, I know I'm skilled enough in changing the subject to not have to worry about it.
Yeah. If I'm like, ooh, tell me about this, and you're like, I don't want to talk about that.
I was like, I would love to tell you about that, but I don't know anything about that. So instead, I'm going to tell you about the history of bananas.
Yeah, it'll get into the verbal jujitsu. Speaking of bananas, did you know that they're all genetically identical?
Yes, specifically the Cavendish banana.
Right, and there's like a repository hidden away somewhere where they have a backup just in case there was a mass banana disease.
That's what happened with the Gross Michael banana, which was the most popular banana prior to the Cavendish that it basically took over. The Gross Michael was also being spliced and basically all grown from the same banana, and a type of fungus started growing on them and killed off the entire Gross Michael line. So they naturally created a safeguard against that using the Cavendish banana.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah, you knew more about it than I did. I'm like,
believe it. So when I was doing my regular streams, every Monday would be news day, and I would have a different banana fact every day. So I actually learned a lot about bananas. So,
yeah, oh, sorry. I just, are you still there? I like accidentally just opened it.
Oh, I'm here.
I actually accidentally just opened a Twitch window and like made a noise, and then I got distracted because it's like, oh, oops, that was the scuff. Yeah, bananas are interesting. Speaking of like the whole nature of like high risk reward situations, I feel that every time I eat a banana, because if you catch a banana outside the zone, it is really bad. And like there are not that many fruits that I feel like are so specifically up to you about. Like if you get an apple, when it's bad, and anytime before that, you're good. And if you take like one bite and it's bad, then you're kind of like, okay, like I got a little bit of it. Like it's not necessarily a bad taste.
Bananas can be a little tricky.
Right. And the texture with the banana changes so much.
It does. It can go from overly firm to overly soft in a matter of days.
Yeah. Or like sweet to grossness, or like not sweet enough.
Yeah. There is definitely a sweet spot in regards to when the optimal time to consume banana is.
Yeah, I will get bananas and then I will get too afraid to eat them. This is like weirdly how on point this is with like what we were just talking about with the fear stuff. Like seriously, so like, and the thing I'll do is I just will put them in smoothies a lot. So like that
works. That's brilliant.
I was in Florida and I was working with a coworker. Or with a subcontractor who I had hired to work with me, and we went to Walmart, and he's like, let's get some bananas. So we got some bananas, and he took some, and he gave me some, and I got on the airplane with them, and I was like gonna eat them, maybe in the morning, maybe on the airplane, maybe when I got off the airplane. Nope, just waited and put them in my smoothie like the next day, like all the way from outside my home state. Yeah, like all the way from Florida, like not just took them from out there. Avocados out there are huge. It was kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, I've seen them. They're awesome.
What the heck is going on with that? They're so tiny where I live.
I think the climate there is very, very good for avocados.
Yeah,
that tropical climate. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's okay. That's not what I brought you here to talk about today, because you're fascinating, and we can't just talk about produce as much as we might enjoy that.
We can try and produce some better results.
There we go. Yeah, so you're the only person I know who crosses the border between theater kid and video game nerd. What's your favorite video game?
Jeez Louise, that's a toughie. My favorite video game. Do you mind if I narrow it down to like 3 titles?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, you know, take it wherever you want to take it.
So Divinity Original Sin 2.
Okay.
I absolutely adore that game. It's fantasy, it's moddable, and it's exciting and borderline D&D-esque, and
Right.
I'm a sucker for that sort of thing.
It's almost like a TTRPG.
Yeah.
I get it confused with another game, but like
Probably Baldur's Gate.
Torchlight.
Oh, Torchlight. Yeah, okay.
I've played one of the 2 of them and stuff, and it just didn't quite stick for me. I have a hard time with anything that's that like top down, I guess.
Oh, gotcha.
People in this channel know, but I tend to play games that have like an absurd amount of adrenaline rush attached to them. Like I need games
things like Ultra Kill or
Neon White.
Neon White, yeah, that's
Like that makes sense. I need game go fast for some reason.
That I totally get that.
Yeah.
I know one of my other favorite games is The Binding of Isaac. I am such a sucker for roguelike games. And Binding of Isaac, I think I have like 800 hours into that game. And then I'll put this last one out there as a generalization because it's more the genre of game I really like. I love monster taming games.
Okay.
Things like Pokemon or Koromon
I've seen you play Koromon.
Nexamon or what was the Temtem? There's one called Monster King, I think, which is you get to actually make and fuse your own monsters, which is so interesting. But I am such a sucker for monster taming games, and it's because I played Pokemon when I was like 5 years old, and now I freaking love it.
Yeah. This is a flat-footed question because I can't remember what the name of the game is, but did you see the trailer for that game that's like Pokemon with guns?
Yes, I don't know. Pal World. I don't know what it's going to be about or how it's going to work, but I am incredibly interested.
It looks like Pokemon mixed with Call of Duty.
It looks like Pokemon mixed with like Metal Gear.
Mixed with like some sort of like
Monster Hunter mixed with
political criticism of like the, food industrial complex.
Yeah, which is strange. Yeah, that trailer is like
so much going on.
It's an acid trip, and I'm all about it.
Yeah. Mega, who's in the chat, is talking about it. It was the one who showed me that, and it's like, oh my gosh,
it's so interesting.
Right?
But yeah, I would probably say those 3 games pretty much encompass my taste in video games. And that's not to say I play my fair share of shooters. I play my fair share of other types of games. Those are just the ones that I enjoy the most.
Yeah, it's a good portfolio. I find myself pretty narrowly drawn into what I'm interested in, and they're not necessarily good stream games. So it works out well that I can make cool interactive content.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very tempted to tell you like all of my ideas right now because I'm like, as we're talking about games, like
they're buzzing.
Yeah, no, I'm like very tempted to just dig into like what I want to make that's VR related right now, but we're not gonna do it. We're just gonna get people excited for it by teasing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Cool. Let's see. I'm looking through here. Yeah. Did you mentioned being bullied a lot as a kid?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that what I guess I have a 2-part question. Like, how did that shape you? But also, do you feel like as I've said, you seem like a very, very confident person. So I'm wondering if whatever it was that you got through to be able to get to the other side of that, I'm wondering, did those experiences make you more comfortable with the mixture of things that you're into now? Like, it is not that many people who are interested in as many subjects as you're interested in.
So...
Sorry, that was a weird, complex question.
No. I completely understand the question. So to start with, I was bullied a lot growing up in grade school and the like, and in middle school a little bit. I ended up being homeschooled from 6th to 8th grade because I got attacked in 6th grade. I got choked out, woke up on the concrete about an hour later. It was a very frightening experience. And because of all those things, after that had happened, I vowed to never let that happen again. I learned to defend myself. I learned to take care of myself. And up to that point, bullying made it so my confidence dwindled. But what started as an issue, as something that I felt I could never surmount, it slowly became a source of empowerment because it gave me a goal that I wasn't quite comfortable with, a goal of being able to take care of myself and know that if I'm ever in that situation again, I will be able to at least defend myself competently. And because of that, because I ended up developing those skills and that mindset, it made it so that moving forward, I was able to become more confident in myself in all regards. Because then if I said, yeah, I like anime to someone, and they said, oh, you like anime? You're a nerd. I'd be like, and? Like, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
It basically gave me the confidence to enjoy what I want to enjoy without caring what someone else was going to say about it.
Right. Yeah, totally. What did you do to, like, I'm curious because, like, I got into martial arts for a while. Like, what did you do to start training? Boxing. Nice.
I fell very, very hard into the world of boxing, and now I am fairly confident. Pretty much no matter who I'm up against, I can absolutely knock them on their ass.
Nice. No, boxing's one of the good ones. Like, yeah. I would not recommend all martial arts to people, but boxing is definitely something.
Yeah, but boxing is one of those ones that, the sport of it is very fun, so it's easy to get into and easy to do, but the actual application of it in a real, like, street fight scenario, it's not the same as boxing in a ring. There is a much more dirty fighting going on because you're not that's one of, actually, I just watched this show that Amazon Prime put out called Terminal List. Chris Pratt's in it, and it was what I really loved about it. He's in the middle of fighting these guys, and I'm like, these people are trying to kill you. Are you really going to do this well choreographed thing? Gouge their eyes out, kick them in the ball. And he did.
Yeah.
He did it. He gouged his eye out, and he kicked him in the balls. And I was like, that's what you do in a survival situation. That's what I'm talking about.
That's good.
That's how it's done. I'm tired of seeing this, like, you're going to try to kill me, but I will fight you in an honorable manner. No, you're trying to kill me.
My dude, fight choreographers are artists too.
They are 100%. And there are some people that you can tell they focus on the artistry of it, and there are other people that tell they focus on the realism of how it would go. And I feel like we get too much artsy fighting and not enough realism fighting, because people get this, you see it all the time where, I got in a street fight, but I wanted to fight him man to man. It's like, no, if someone's attacking you and, like, trying to get you, it's okay to play a little dirty. It's all right. You're trying to protect yourself and be safe. Yeah. But boxing has a lot of that tied into it. Old style boxing is much dirtier than modern sport boxing, and it helps. It helps in a self-defense situation, knowing how to do those things. Mm-hmm. Although I will say, any fighting style, any type of defense that you can learn will benefit you.
Right.
Regardless of what it is. Yeah.
I think, even just, like, physiologically, I think you'll just feel better.
And also there is something comforting knowing that if someone comes up to you and wants to fight you, you can handle yourself. There is comfort in knowing that. Knowing how to deal with a situation that you might encounter helps alleviate any stress that could come from that situation just potentially existing.
Right. No, totally. And that was me with jiu-jitsu for a long time before I had to quit, which I think I've told that story too many times, but, like, I got into a place where I was just getting repeat skin infections, so I had to quit jiu-jitsu. It was my favorite sport.
Yeah.
And that was rough, but, like, everything you're saying about the confidence building of all of that stuff, like, I never had to use it on anybody. I came close one time, but it just, like, I just felt better. I paradoxically, I actually felt more confident in areas where I was in the least danger, and I, like, was a little bit more nervous in areas where I'd be in more danger because, like, I'd be a little scared of being a little too good, Like,
yeah.
You hear stories about people who get sued for self-defense and, like, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So,
I definitely live hardcore in the camp that you should learn self-defense in hopes that you never have to use it.
Right. Yeah. And just, like, even just, like, the simple, like, just being able to throw a punch is actually, like,
I think that's one of those universally human experiences. Everyone should know how to throw a punch, and everyone should get punched once. Because I taught a little boxing class out of my garage to some friends and whatnot, and the first thing I did when I was getting them started, I had them work on the bag, I had them hit some focus mitts, and then I said, okay, put on this headgear, put on this body gear, I'm going to punch you once in the body and once in the head. And they were like, why? Because you're going to be so afraid of getting punched until you do. Until you know that you can get punched and get back up without a problem, you are going to be afraid of that, and that is going to hold you back significantly. And then as soon as we go through that and we do it, after that, there's nothing else on the table that they need to be afraid of in this boxing class, because the worst that could happen is they get punched again. And I was the guy who could punch the hardest there. So if you can take this, you can take anything and you'll be okay. And that's a really important thing to be able to know you can take. Because not knowing you can take a punch is actually kind of scary.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like like the tagline for this stream could be like, Opera Banana Man will mess you up.
Yeah, Opera Banana Man will punch you in the face.
Dude, I think it's so cool. I feel like I keep talking about like the multifaceted nature of you, and like maybe I'm going too far here, but I love meeting anyone who like can put a foot in like three corners. Like
yeah, and look, I've lived heavily under the idea that a jack of all trades is better than a master of one.
Yeah,
I like being in. This is so silly to say. I like being I like being pretty good at a lot of things because it makes me feel like I'm a super spy. Because
you might be.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine you're talking with this guy and they're like, "Oh my God, we need an opera singer," and this guy gets up and then sings opera, and they're like, "Oh my God, we need someone who can work in the kitchen," and he goes in the kitchen and makes a cordon bleu. It's like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, I'm trying to. What's a good? We don't actually have enough of that in culture. You know what I mean? Like maybe James Bond can he can go to a fancy gala and then he can also
kind
get
of fit in everywhere. Yeah,
hands dirty afterwards. But like
yeah, it's like sometimes you see those action movie stars that like play a violin and then they dance the tango and then they get in a gunfight. It's like, woo, it's neato.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been fascinated with I don't like getting caught flat-footed. So if I know how to do everything, I won't have to be.
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, honestly, there should be another really good. We need a really good action movie that can have a hero like that. Like, maybe the Bourne movies are good. Like a good example of him being able to do like a lot of different survival stuff. But like,
yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like,
you so rarely see like completely differing skills in the same person. You know, like someone who fights well, knows how to hack and can do survivalist stuff. It's not absurd to think they'd have that entire skill set. But when you have someone who knows, you know, karate and then also, you know, knows how to make a mean souffle, that's like it's so different and strange, and it's like, that's really cool. I like that.
Right. Yeah, and that's really good for the creativity too, because you can pull ideas from so many different places, you know? Like if you've studied fighting and like you also like to make movies and stuff, like you think you can start to like put together a little bit of fight choreography.
Yeah, fight choreography. I have choreographed fight scenes in my head so many times that I think would be so cool. And I'm just like, man, I need to make a kung fu movie. It would be awesome.
Do it. And you should get some full body 3D and then make it a VTuber fight scene.
That would be really cool.
Yeah. No, I've got it. I've thought about it before. I'm just trying to think. I don't think I've choreographed one. I have a friend who's who's been on who's, you know, like a pro. Like he's like actually been on TV and stuff. And I don't know if he coordinates as much as he just like his work with stuff. Yeah, I had him do mocap for me once, and it was really. I like didn't give him enough to do really, and it was like kind of sad. It was like he kind of came all the way out to the studio where we were shooting this mocap thing, and he didn't really like have to do that much, and it like kind of, I don't know, bummed me out. I'm like, I'm not really using this guy to his full potential. Like,
yeah,
he didn't have enough room to move or anything. But that's, you know, that is what it is. Yeah, I daydream about like making stuff that can combine all the things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to combine multiple mediums into one thing, especially a lot of popular medias right now, like VTubing and, you know, action movies and whatnot. Man, if you could combine those, that'd be so cool.
That's the Unreal Engine part for me. Like that's that's why the game engines are so exciting, because like
that's what makes the engines unreal.
It's just how excited I am about it. Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. How are you doing? Do you think we should move on to some game?
It's up to you, sir. 'Tis your show. I am but the humble banana shepherd I guess I'm the sheep being shepherded.
Yeah, I guess there is another thing I want to ask you.
Yeah.
We're getting closer there. We're getting closer, y'all. We're getting closer to some wheel game. Your dad's in the chat and he's talking about Mr. Nobody,
Yes.
and I love that movie. Is he
Yes.
talking about the movie?
I believe so.
Nice. I don't know what we did to get him to think about it, but
I think we were talking about the jack of all trades and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And being, like, knowing how to do things without people knowing you know how to do things.
Right. Yeah, that movie's kind of a crazy fever dream, but it's really cool.
It is. Yeah, the bus scene, being able to fight, that's what he was talking about, yeah.
Man, Man, it's been
It's a very, very cool scene. And you know what? I feel like we've all sort of been there at one time where it's like, oh, you know what? Here, just everyone leave. I'm going to take care of this real quick.
Yeah, I love any fight scene that's like, oh, this is really inconvenient. Like that it always starts with the hero.
I'm such a big fan of the Justice where he's sitting on the bus and he sees them starting to rouse someone. He's just like, okay, I'm not gonna let this happen.
Yeah, no,
because that's the kind of person I am. I am not the kind of person that can sit idly by while someone's getting attacked or someone's getting messed with. It's like, no, you shouldn't have done that while I was here. I'm sorry. You should have waited till I left if you're gonna do that.
Yeah, I'm imagining you just like coming in with like a big old falcon punch, but it's like banana punch.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly correct.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty big dude. I'm 6'2", 268 some odd pounds. So I can tussle with this muscle. Let me tell you, I can put some schmeat behind that punch.
Yeah. So things have been kind of like, I think, a little bit cool. Like you've had some stuff going on, like your hey, how's it going in my butter? You've had like some interruptions with your VTubing and stuff. What's on the horizon for you?
So I have some pretty big things on the horizon. One of which is going to be a concert that is going to be a full 3D model that I'm going to be using with full body tracking. And I'm very excited to be doing that. It's one of the things I look forward to doing when I actually come back. I also have a big subathon planned in the future that I've done a subathon before, but it wasn't one of them uncappers, but I'm thinking about doing one of those.
Oh, you're going all day, all night.
Yeah. I'm thinking when I come back, I need to come back with a vengeance. So I have a lot of irons in the fire right now for some very interesting things that I'm excited to show everybody. I have not just been sitting on my hands while I've been doing this moving stuff. I've been planning new content. I've been planning new ideas. Like, for example, 11 table tennis. That's actually how Woody and I met.
Yeah.
I put a tweet out that said, does anyone have 11 table tennis? I'm just looking for friends to play table tennis with because
oh, that's right.
I miss it. And you responded to it. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's have a play date. But
I feel like I half told that story earlier. I got like distracted by another tangent and never closed the loop on that one. That is how we met. Yes.
So what I've been doing though is I've been playing that game, but I've been playing against people using highly specific styles, like only scoops or more professional play or spins only. And what I'm doing is I am crafting an experience. I am crafting a punch-out style experience where you come in and round one is against the guy who's the overachiever who tries too hard so often fails. Round two is against Uncle Scoops who only uses Scoops moves. And basically give them all a name, give them all a character, play those characters while I'm playing them, and let people come in and challenge the gauntlet.
Is
things
that
like that
a thing you're going to do on stream?
Yes.
Ooh.
I'm going to be doing things like that. Things like making multiple Yu-Gi-Oh decks in Master Duel and playing the characters that use them. You know, welcome in. You're going to duel against my Kaiju deck. Good luck. You know, I'm a voice actor and I like being silly. So I'm trying to create experiences more than just streams. Things that people can come in and almost like a Twitch attraction. Like you get in line for the ride, and the ride is you get to duel against 3 different legendary duelists, you know, and just really go all in with experiences more than just streams.
Yeah, that's super cool. No, yeah, that's awesome that you're taking it a little bit deeper than that.
I really want to tap into my theater roots, you know, play characters, have fun with it, make people feel like they're on an anime. Why not?
Yeah, that's cool. Are you going to do visuals around some of that stuff?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, neat. So like you're going to have different like drawings or PNGs.
Yeah, I'll probably have different reactives for each of the different characters, for the different deck archetypes, or for the different table tennis players, just to give them some real character.
Oh man, I'm wondering if I'm foolish enough to go do this like punch out table tennis thing because you're really good. You're really good, and I got decimated every single time we played before.
That's the fun thing. The way that I'm doing it is there will be certain characters that are not as good as other characters, just so that it will be a scaling. You know, it'll be Glass Joe first. I'm not going to put you up against King Hippo round one. Like that's the way. And basically, it's going to see how far into the gauntlet can you get. How many characters can you beat before you meet your match.
it is a little annoying that you're so good at the game that you can do that. Like,
well, that's that once again, that one of the things I love about VR gaming is that real life skill can actually translate into the games. Because look, I know how to play table tennis in real life. I actually trained once with an Ecuadorian Olympian who taught me everything I knew. And because of that, when I found 11, because I played a couple other table tennis games that were okay, but they didn't feel quite right. 11 feels pretty dang right and very similar to actually
It feels good.
So because of that, my real skill translates over to the virtual skill. And so I'm able to do silly things like that and just mess around a little bit.
Yeah, no, 11's like a little bit alarming. I can't say that about like every VR game. Like the VR game I probably played the most is mini golf, and like,
oh yeah,
like Walkabout is so good, but at the same time, that like I played real mini golf this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and like we are so bad at it, like so bad.
It does not translate well. It really doesn't. See, the wonderful thing about the table tennis specifically is, the one thing VR can't do right now is have full haptic response. Mm-hmm. And they're starting to make the gloves and stuff like that simulate it, but it doesn't have that. If I punch something in VR, my fist doesn't punch something in real life. But with table tennis, the impact you actually feel when you hit the ball is so minimal and so minute that simply a vibration of the controller really is enough to simulate that feeling.
Yeah.
So it's sort of the perfect storm
and
of
the weight's
immersion.
Too.
Yeah, exactly. It feels correct. And that's really hard to duplicate in a VR game, because like when you're holding a sword, they usually simulate weight by making it move a little bit slower, so you have to move a little bit slower, but that's you doing it.
It feels bad.
It's not the game doing it. Yeah, it just doesn't feel quite right.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, in my butter, I would highly recommend 11 table tennis. It is the best. It's probably it's the most well-made immersive game that exists in VR currently.
I don't know about that.
I would say immersive in regards to replicating a real life experience.
Okay, sure. The one-to-one nature of it, I think.
The one-to-one is probably the closest to a genuine one-to-one that you, because I've done actual full armor medieval combat in real life, so I know what that feels like in real life.
And that's going to be so different than anything on VR.
It's so different. Yeah, I mean, I was wearing like 60 pounds of armor, and it's like I'm not wearing 60 pounds of armor in here, but I got the same amount of protection. That feels vastly different.
Why wouldn't you lead with that
anecdote? A two-handed sword feels vastly different.
If I ever did that, it would be the first thing I'd tell anybody ever. I get on a stream, I'd be like, "So, I've held a javelin before."
I will say that was the first time I did that. I dressed up in the full armor, and I was apprehensive because I'd never been hit by a metal weapon in full armor. Then I got hit, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm invincible!" It was amazing. Highly recommended for anyone that's willing to do it. But yeah, I would say 11 table tennis is probably the best one-to-one real life to VR thing that exists currently.
And we're all about that here.
Yeah, that conversion to it. That's one of the things I love about VR, and that's one of my favorite things about like Ready Player One and stuff, is that real life skill translated over to the games. Because I know how to do these things in real life, but like playing Fight Night and actually boxing someone are not the same thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, yeah, some of the games, like it's like on a spectrum, right? Of like on a spectrum, like 0 is like using a Wiimote, and like 10 is like the full real experience.
Yeah,
and
10
most
is like
VRs
a fully
are at
immersive
5.
body track. Yeah, I would say most VR games are between 5 and 7.
Yeah,
just because a lot of them do tackle unrealistic things, so it's hard to apply. How do you apply realism to shooting a Kamehameha out of your mouth or something? Like, you can't. You can't do that.
No, you can't. It's not.
And if you can do that, call me. I want to learn.
Bananiel and I are really curious about how we start doing the spirit bombs. We want to.
Yeah.
We want.
I've watched Dragon Ball Z so many times and haven't been able to do it. It reminds me of that one comic where it's two boxers in the ring and one of them goes Kamehameha and the other guy goes, "I quit." And he goes, "I didn't think he could do it, but I wasn't about to risk it."
Oh man, yeah. I didn't realize we would talk about fighting this much when I start like it's nowhere.
Yeah, and you know what? That's something a lot of people don't know about me. I'm actually incredibly passionate about combat. I don't know if I was a knight in a past life or a fighter in a past life, but boxing is one of my biggest passions. I could go off on a tangent about my favorite boxers throughout history and the legacy of the heavyweight championship belt. I could go all day about that sort of thing.
I
But
couldn't.
most people don't know that about me because I'm a music boy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, you're a Renaissance man. But here's something I want to like. I've been thinking about recently, and this is like kind of unscripted, and like I don't know where we're going with this now. Like we still got some more time before we dip into the games. We're gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep mentioning because we are eventually gonna get there, y'all. But we're gonna be playing a really fun interactive game here in my VTuber scene. So stick around. But something I've been thinking about this week is like I had a bad day. And then I like sometimes when I have bad days, I start playing Blade and Sorcery to get
out the aggression.
right. But like in that game, like I would say on a scale of maybe you'd agree, like between a Wiimote and the real experience of stabbing people, I would say it's a 5.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not real. Stabbing through someone is not as easy as that game makes it seem like.
Right. But I wonder, so like, like the arguments parents always have had forever with video games of like, oh, this is bad for our kids. We shouldn't do this. We shouldn't, they shouldn't be playing these experiences where they are like notably committing violent acts. Like that can't be good for their psyche. Like I wonder about that in VR. Like I think like Call of Duty, you're looking at a screen, you're like pointing the gun around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's fine. But like I downloaded Pavlov
yeah.
And like I started playing like the first mission and I was like, holy crap, I can't do this. This is terrifying. Like I am hearing gunshots in the distance and I'm like, that's what it sounds like to be close to death. Like I can't do this.
Yeah. And okay, so as far as the
Thankfully
whole
it was on sale. I got
debate,
it for $5. I haven't played it since.
Oh, really? I love Pavlov. It's actually it's probably my top shooter game just because of all the mods that are available for it and all the crazy maps and whatnot. I mean, adore that game.
It's great. It's just like, I feel like I can't turn off that part of my brain that's like, I'm in imminent danger. And I can't play this.
That's totally fair. I will say the whole violent video game debate, that debate exists because parents don't want to take care of their kids and they don't want to guide their children to make sure they don't play those games without guidance because it's dangerous if you don't have parental guidance. It's dangerous if you don't have someone there to, like, yeah, this is a game. You're allowed to have fun with it. This stuff, this don't fly in real life. Like, you can't just go around shooting people with lightning and stabbing them. You can't do that. Like,
the lightning bit is fine.
Yeah.
It's like when I'm actually using a dagger or something.
Yeah.
That I feel dirty.
I feel like a lot of the times, okay, I have played a million violent video games. I have killed armies single-handedly in Blade and Sorcery for hours on end, and I have yet to attack someone in real life. And the reason why is because I grew up and was taught that this is a video game, and what you do in a video game is not necessarily what you do in real life. So I think as long as those lessons are instilled and they're not just being, here, let this murder video game be your babysitter. As long as that's not happening, you should be okay.
I do refer to that game, like, within my own home and to others as Medieval Murder Simulator.
It really is. I do have a little funny VR story. My dad wanted to try VR, and I was playing Gorn, which for those of you that don't know what Gorn is, it's Blade and Sorcery, but sillier.
Yep.
And so we're playing that, and my dad's like, can I try? I was like, yeah, sure. So I hook him up with the VR setup, and I'm sitting at my computer monitoring him in real life and monitoring him in the game. He's at a complete standstill, and there's a guy approaching him. He lunges forward in real life, swings his fist, and clocks me in the jaw. And he goes, why didn't you tell me I was that close? I was like, Dad, you were standing still, and then you punched me. There was no time. It was hilarious, though. It's immersive. But that stuff happens all the time, and it's silly and fun. It's all in good fun. It's not like he was trying to hit me, and he did knock that guy clean out, so he was doing his job. That's for damn sure.
Oh man,
art imitated life. That reaction time.
The first time I got my dad into VR was playing 11, and 11 is pretty realistic, and he started trying to lean on a virtual table.
Yes,
and he fell right through.
He was playing a table tennis game. It was before 11 came out, but we were playing it, and he tried to put his hand on the table to stop himself from falling forward. There was no table there. But luckily I was. So I was able to catch him. But it's like, VR can be very immersive.
I think my dad was fine. I wasn't close enough to help him, but I think he kind of rolled through it. It was.
Oh, that's good.
It was cool. He was totally fine. No repercussions of any kind.
Good.
Yeah, no, but like I wonder about that too. Like, cause like the biggest difference about it is it like is embodied, and embodiment's a really important phenomenon. Like,
most definitely.
I am really bad at routines, but like when I can, I try to do yoga, and it helps me a ton.
Yeah.
Because the mind-body connection is no joke. Like that is
No, not at all.
That is something that has serious implications for your life. And the way you move, this is scientific, but I'm not going to be able to cite anything. But like the way your body moves affects the way your brain thinks about situations. The way your brain thinks about situations affects the way your body moves. So like,
absolutely.
So like if you're doing like if you are fighting for your life out there in a simulated way, it tells the brain like, hey, I'm in danger. And maybe and there's gotta be more to it than that, because like when you're playing a fight sim game and you're good at it, like you can kind of like relax a little bit and like know that like like I can. Blade and Sorcery is very easy to cheese through if you actually like take time to like go through all the strats and stuff. It's like actually
yeah, absolutely. And that's
start
because
spinning swords around.
Yeah, because I have some combat experience. Even when I'm just, I will often boot up that game and just hand-to-hand combat the whole time. Just fist fight, and it's just it's so much fun.
You'll just I gotta try that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's an absolute blast. And I highly recommend turning the volume for the slow-mo all the way down and just using slow-mo and fighting 5 dudes at once with just your hands. It's you will do that for hours without realizing it. That's
okay. I'm doing that after the stream or at some point this weekend. Okay, that's great. Yeah, I know we talked about sports stuff before, but yeah. All right, like I want to try and bring this to a conclusion. So like before we can play this game, because I feel like we might also run out the clock playing this game, because it gets pretty goofy for
intense
for a while, and like we can we can
ride that.
I want to save your juices too, but I think you got plenty banana juice left to go.
I got plenty of juice.
Yeah. Like, what do you have like an overarching vision for your life? Like, we're talking about your streams, we're talking about your various skills and interests. Like, do you have like a sort of platonic potassium ideal for yourself?
Yeah. It's funny. I want to be a big streamer. I do. But it's not necessarily because I want to be famous. If I'm a big streamer, it means I've reached an audience of people that is I've reached so many people. And I've been able to make them smile. I've been able to make all of them smile just by doing what I do. So yeah, I do want to be one of those big streamers, and I do feel like that's a direction that I would love to go and be able to do. Because here's the other thing, I don't think I'm a bad person. I think I have some good things to offer people, and because of that, having an internet personality online that actually might have a halfway decent interest, like a halfway best interest for you in mind, it would be a little bit refreshing if you ask me. Because I feel like a lot of the times, most online content creators don't have necessarily your best interest in mind, and I think that's a safe bet. But I feel like I could do some good, and that's why working hard and making sure that I'm giving myself the best chance to succeed that's the direction I'm going in with that.
Yeah, I want more people like you to be successful, for sure.
Yeah, and that's the goal. And as far as long term is concerned, and it's funny, I used to want to be a paleontologist when I was younger. And so because of that, I have decided that as soon as I hit like 45 or 50, I'm gonna go back to school for paleontology and become basically John Hammond.
John Hammond from Jurassic Park?
Yes, indeed.
Nice.
I want to be the old cool dinosaur guy.
I want to become a chaotician. I want to do the Goldblum in that movie.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Yes, you can absolutely. I will invite you over to my dinosaur park, and you can say chaos theory.
So you guys you studied dinosaurs, huh?
We spared no expense.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's play a game. Let's do this thing. And
I like wheels, I like games, and it sounds like you got both of those ready for me.
This used to be a little bit. I gotta say, it was a little bit more fun to play this game when nobody knew what it was all about, and now it's like it's kind of wild and it's fun, but like people know what's up now. Like we played this a number of times and stuff like that. We're just gonna like I'm counting on you to bring your own.
Oh yeah, drop me into the deep end.
I still think this will confound you slightly. I'm hoping so.
I surely hope so.
All right, so let's hold on one second here. We'll get through some. Gotta do some OBS stuff. Like we gotta find my mouse first. There we go. There it is. I warned him before we started. I'm like, just so you know, there's like 76 points of failure in my stream before we really get into it. We've got
Man, I said there's actually 77 because I'm here now.
All right. Okay, here we go. Let's get into the world of our magical game shows here. All right, y'all. Here it is. Let's play the Wheel of Chaotic Prompts.
It's beautiful.
All right. So, Bananiel, I think you already know how this works, but for the sake of yourself and everyone else involved, I'm going to talk a little bit about this thing here, this crazy game that we have, the Wheel of Chaotic Prompts. What we have is basically it's a system of changeable variables, which is a redundant thing to say. But the wheels contain multiple words. The words will all get lined up in a way that creates a prompt. Your goal with that prompt is to freestyle imaginate all over that and come up with something that you feel like fulfills the nature of the prompt. And it can be anything. There are almost no rules to the game other than don't reject the prompt. Actually, you know what? There's a situation where you could do that too.
That's an improv rule.
Yes, it's extremely yes and. And I'm going to join you. So we can sort of tag team it, or we can each take our stab at it. Whatever flow we find in the process is all good with me. So we're going to set this up, and we will get you your first set here. We've made some changes to the wheel game. Previously, we had some trouble with repeat questions. I think I may have fixed that. We have a fully physics simulated set of wheels now, and
awesome.
And normally we have little stickers on the wheels that show us previous guests who's left their words. I'll do my best to remember, but after this is over, you'll have the chance to add your own prompt, adjective, and noun. So you'll be able to make your own mark on the game for future people who play.
I love that.
Yeah. So let's get you going with your first one here. We have sound effects now too, which is a first.
Exciting.
Yeah. So we have what's a good name for a hyper-aggressive retirement plan?
The name for a hyper-aggressive retirement plan. Okay, something along the lines of a retirement plan. So a retirement plan, you would think that would be something that you would use to make sure you have a quality retirement, something like a 401k kind of thing. So let's see, hyper-aggressive makes me think like whoever created this retirement plan 100% is trying to drive it home that you will die when you're old, and so you have to retire now to enjoy your life. So what embodies that kind of energy? Let's see. It's a good name. Hyper-aggressive retirement plan. Let's see, a retirement plan. Retire. Okay, maybe the word retire.
If you want to workshop it, I think I got one.
Okay, what you got?
It's gonna be the Get Rich or Die Trying fund.
I like that.
It's an index fund that is entirely defunct cryptocurrencies that people are in the process of trying to shill. So that's my pitch. It's the Get Rich or Die Trying fund.
Okay. Reaper's Choice. That's hilarious.
Oh, that's good. I like that. That's amazing.
A Savor Grave.
Savor grave.
I final answer, save or grave.
That's really good. All right, cool. We'll keep them coming. That's the first one. We got our first.
So for anyone looking at a retirement plan, that plan will be out there in the next couple of years. Look at your local AARP to hear more.
Oh my gosh. Look, I like where this is going. Who would win in a fight? You, because we've already been talking about fighting. Mm-hmm. You or a flammable assassin? There's not a lot of depth to this one.
Unfortunately, this one's pretty easy. The assassin's flammable, right?
Right.
Need I say more?
No.
Potassium is akin to radioactivity. So all I'm saying is I am built to light this assassin on fire. Good luck. maybe pick a less flammable assassin next time.
They sent you the Michelin Man.
Yeah, they sent me a big marshmallow boy. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna. All right, hold on. I'm having a little trouble with the interface here. Next up we have a movie pitch. So pitch me a movie about a Chad evening ball.
All right, this is so easy. I already have the entire movie written.
Yeah.
So you enter into the scene. It is it's a frat house, right? And you got every Chad in the book there. Chug, chug, chug. Oh yeah, this is great. There's one guy in the corner. He looks like a Chad like the rest, but he seems so sad. And one of his friends goes up to him, "Hey buddy, what's the problem, dude? You're not partying with the rest of us, man." And he says, "I just don't feel right. Something's off. I've been doing this college thing for so long, but just something seems wrong." He's like, "Well, what seems to be the problem, dude? Just because we're Chads doesn't mean we don't care about emotions." And so they start talking, and he says, "I've never been to a ball." And he said, "Oh, dude, that's messed up. Everyone should go to a ball someday." So they decide to throw the first annual Alpha Beta Phi ball. That's right, a first ever fraternity-run ball. But this guy, he doesn't want to go alone. He needs to find someone to go with. But no one wants to go out with a Chad. They're jerks, right? But he's actually got a heart of gold, and he ends up falling in love with his tutor. She's been there for him. She's been helping him, and he says, "You don't understand. Everyone just thinks I'm stupid. I'm just a Chad." And she said, "No, you're more than a Chad. You're my Chad." And then they go to the ball, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful love story, tale as old as time, starring Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. You might know them from such films as La La Land. It's perfect.
Nice. That's a beautiful picture. I'm gonna take the movie about the Chad evening ball, and here's what I'm gonna give you guys.
Okay.
It's a Jane Austen style period piece drama. Think like movies like Emma or Pride and Prejudice.
Ooh,
but
okay.
But everyone has just like this absolutely ripped jawline, like the men, the women, all of them and stuff, and like everyone has an Arnold Schwarzenegger-esque Austrian accent, and they
so the whole cast the whole time. Yeah, hello. Yeah, okay, I like it.
Exactly, and like I'm not gonna do too much with the plot other than just like sort of the ridiculousness of the like, and everyone's ripped too, like everyone is jacked. So
naturally.
So like if you've got like a girl and her name is like Catherine or something like that, and like, you know, still traditional dress and like, you know, she's got all the layers and petticoats on and stuff like that, but like her biceps are just like bulging, and sometimes, you know, like she'll be,
"Hello, my name is Jacqueline, yeah."
Right.
Yeah, I get you.
And then she'll be like talking to the people, you know, she'll be like talking about her feelings to someone, confiding with her best friend, but the entire time her biceps are just bulging, like, and like, you know,
every word.
Her like shoulder line just keeps getting thicker and longer. Like she just keeps getting like more yoked as she's talking, and it's just like this weird like paradoxical body humor thing meets traditional Jane Austen-esque Regency period piece.
Yeah, it's like Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, but with weightlifters.
Exactly.
It's beautiful.
Let's feed another one in here.
Yes.
Also, folks at home, you should know that eventually this is going to become Twitch integrated. Like many other of my games, I'm going to have a way for you all to play as well. And we'll either do that, we'll do like one of these with just chat, or we'll do another one in the future where you'll have personalities like myself and the Bananiel, and we will be looking, through all of your suggestions and reacting to them, I guess, is the meta. The Bananiel. What mood can be described cyberpunk VTuber?
What mood can be described as a cyberpunk VTuber?
Yeah. Can you tell me about a situation where you're like, either like this is a cyberpunk VTuber mood, or like, can you tell me about something that makes you think about cyberpunk VTubers?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll give you the perfect. You know that scene in the new Blade Runner movie where Ryan Gosling is looking up at the board that's just sitting up there, and it's some lady who's like trying to give him like jack off instructions for a porn video.
Okay, I watched that movie, and your description is a little lacking, but I'm following.
It is. That scene is a mood that can be described as cyberpunk VTuber.
No, that you're right. You're exactly right. That's like and you can watch that at home. I promise you, it's not gonna be exactly what he described. And
no, but it's more or less it's an advertisement, so there's no actual lewdness that actually happens. But
yeah, that scene is so sad though, because it's like it's his wife, you know, like
yep. It's one of those scenes you're just like, oh man, this is rough. But it is so cyberpunk VTuber. It's
so rough, and it makes me sad.
Highly recommend watching the new Blade Runner if you haven't.
I can't top that, and I want to move on. All right, what do we have now?
What do we have next on the wheel
of chaotic prompts? How does a what is this? How does a floppy soccer mom make you feel? What is happening?
Boy, howdy. How does a floppy soccer mom make me feel? That is a wonderful question. Well, when I see me, a floppy soccer mom, the first thing I think is, boy, howdy, that soccer mom's rather floppy. I suppose that's just how soccer moms be. So I guess it makes me feel content. As long as the world is the way it's supposed to be, I'm happy.
All right. Okay.
If your soccer moms aren't floppy, are they really a soccer mom? Let's be real.
I feel like we're not allowed to comment on that. Like, I feel like we're not allowed to comment on one's floppiness, especially of all things of soccer
I'm not afraid.
moms.
I'll take on every soccer mom in the world right now. Let's go. Verbal battle. You and me, soccer moms. You're all floppy. Deal with it.
Yeah. I don't want to get canceled, so I'm moving on. I'm gonna pass on that one personally.
I don't actually feel that way about soccer moms. I know plenty of soccer moms that are great. I do just like the idea that floppy soccer moms is an archetype that exists.
Yeah, and it's like maybe it's like Flat Stanley. Okay, this is up your alley, right? Make up a song about. Wait, hold on. We can't have you have another retirement plan. I'm gonna fix that for you.
Spin that wheel.
We're gonna have it. Yeah, we're gonna need to get another one. Another. Eventually, I'll get this foolproof where like certain things just replace each other. Ah, yes, here we go. Make up a song.
Rainbow Parade.
I mean, a Rainbow Parade is like a real thing.
That seems very easy.
Well,
let's see. Time to make up a song about a Rainbow Parade. Let's see. What can I do here? Okay, I'm ready. Do you hear that sound? It comes down the lane. No, it's not a cloud, it's the Rainbow Parade. They've got colors to boot, they've got cannons to shoot, they've got noises to boot. for sure. So come out, don't be afraid. It's the Rainbow Parade. There's things to do and so much fun to explore. Don't stay indoors, just come out now. Otherwise, you'll feel so sad. I'll tell you how. Oh, the Rainbow Parade.
That is utterly, wreckingly beautiful. Okay. Wow. That's, yeah. I gotta say, how did you do that? Are there more of you? Like, what? Do you have like a barbershop quartet of other bananas with you? Like, how did that happen?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
Damn. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
I swear I'll participate something on the next prompt. But I can't touch that. I can't even touch that. Not that it's a competition. I'm just so content. I'm so content to leave it on that note.
No, thank you.
All right. What songs are in this playlist? Let's. I thought I worked.
Run back that evening ball.
Yeah, let's run back that evening ball. We got an evening ball in here already. Yeah. Give us a. Yeah,
What songs are in this playlist? For Murdery Clown?
Yeah, what's the Murdery Clowns?
The Murdery Clown playlist. You're gonna have to have things like. God, I gotta think of like weird circus music. I guess you probably have like 90% of the ICP catalog.
What's the ICP catalog?
The Insane Clown Posse?
Oh!
Yes.
That's acronyms?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's the birth of the juggler. Do the clown voice? Oh, yeah. I have this spooky clown voice that I do when I play the clown in Dead by Daylight.
Okay.
Sounds a little something like this.
But yeah, let's see. Creepy, like Murdery Clown. But when I think Murdery Clown, I think things like probably. That's what I think of songs like "Letting the Days Go By," "Water Flowing Underground." Like 90% of the Talking Heads anthology.
Talking Heads.
Yeah. "Burning Down the House." Any song that elicits panic. Let's see.
Oh, you know what? I got one. Have you ever heard the song "In the Afternoon" by MGMT? It's not one of their better known songs, but
yeah, Psycho Killer. Exactly.
Psycho Killer is great, Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
In the Afternoon is great because it's so creepy.
I definitely think it would be apropos to get murdered by a clown to Britney Spears' Circus. Look at me in the middle of the ring, looking like a circus.
Yep. That tracks.
Yep, absolutely.
That tracks.
This is the greatest show. That has to be on there. Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Let's see. Murdery Clown.
Murdery Clown.
I have a feeling on the Murdery Clown, yeah, you would just have just going on repeat and slowly getting more and more like deep fried and just frightening as it goes.
Yeah, like chopped and screwed versions of like nursery rhymes and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Like pitched down, detuned.
Yeah, gotta have some Rob Zombie music in there. Yeah, that's a good one. Could have God, Murdery Clown. I gotta think more silly, because murdery clowns aren't just murdery. They also have fun. I gotta think, what would Pennywise listen to? Pennywise would listen to My Chemical Romance. Maybe that's not a good choice.
No, yeah, we'll get some MCR in there. Like Black Parade feels like Murdery Clown.
Yes, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
But like Black Parade would be Pennywise's Singing in the Rain.
Yeah.
Primus, yes, 100% Primus. Absolutely.
I've heard the argument that it's like our generation's Bohemian Rhapsody. Or maybe I made up that argument.
I mean,
Think about it.
I could see that actually.
You got parts to that song. There's like layers to it. There's, You've got like the guitar thing happening, but you also have like the marching band thing. There's not as many layers as Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, I think Barbie Girl by Aqua would be on there.
Oh yeah. Yep.
This playlist would be like, oh yeah, I could see this on a Murdery Clown playlist, but it's also like, oh my god, I can't believe a clown would murder me to this music. That's horrifying. Can you imagine if you just like in the distance, I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
As a matter of fact, I could imagine it, and
horrifying.
That was still worse.
Mr. Bungle, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think we got this one.
Yeah, I think that playlist is pretty decked out.
Yeah,
we should make a Murdery Clown playlist. I agree.
If this was like a really highly produced show and I had like a team of people, I'd like publish playlists afterwards or something like that. That would be really cool.
That would be really cool.
Unfortunately, I just don't think we're there yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I need to get some interns or something for the Virtual Woody Variety Show. Let's see what we got here. The new physics-based mover is so much more satisfying. How much does it cost to buy a magic shark?
Okay,
really do the calculus here. Like, I don't want an easy answer.
Actually, I wish the answer was more difficult. You can just take the sharks. Oh, wait, okay, this isn't a marketplace? I was going to say, you can just take the sharks. No one will stop you. Okay, so if you're actually going to a marketplace and you're going to buy a magic shark, can I get some context here? I just need the smallest bit of context. Am I at an open market or am I, like, talking to a wizard?
Oh yeah, sure. So like the world, it's a world building question, right? So let's say in this world that there's like an extra breed of shark that is more magical. Think of it as the shiny Pokemon of sharks. And
gotcha.
The way that works is that you have these very special sharks that they're definitely rare and valuable and stuff like that. But I'm gonna say that for the sake of the argument that all of their magic is worthless. Like the things that they can do aren't that helpful or special or anything. Like they can just kind of their magic is subdued. Like they can like magically like communicate with each other telepathically, and they can do low-level alchemy and stuff. Like they can turn bronze into iron or something like that. Yeah, but nothing like remarkably helpful in the modern era.
Gotcha. And who's the primary seller of these magic sharks? Is it private dealers? Is there like a depot that you go to?
I'm gonna say that it is like sort of a black market of fishermen who are able to come up with this. Like, if you ever read The Old Man and the Sea, it's like once you find the big one, it's kind of tricky. So I'm gonna say in this world, it is like sort of a precious thing. So maybe the question is like, how do you begin your negotiation?
Okay, yeah, no. So I feel like this would be a negotiation a lot like any other product. So I'd approach the salesman and say, look, I'm in the market for a magic shark. You and I both know how much they cost, but I'm not interested in paying full price, sir. I simply do not have the budget for it. So what can we do here? And they'd probably say, the lowest I can go.
Do you mind? I'll take it from there.
Oh, no, please, yes.
Yeah, lowest I can go. As the fish is worthwhile. It took me a long time to catch. It was difficult. You know what I mean, Mr. Banana Man?
I understand. And then I'd come back and say something along the lines of, but you and I both know magic sharks aren't getting bought like they used to. This is not the same magic shark market you were used to when you got started. So we do have to come to a consensus. I would offer you $6,000 for one of your magic sharks.
But my boy here is a classic. I say, we're talking $7,500 at least.
70. You know what? Let's just meet in the middle at 7,000, shall we?
Get out of my hut. You've offended me greatly.
I've offended you. You're gonna let $500 keep you from a $7,000 payday?
You do drive a hard bargain, my friend.
Is what he got out. Your Jedi mind tricks won't work on me.
I'm just mixing all the bad D&D role-playing voices that I've used throughout the years. But all right, 7,000. It's a deal. That's our answer.
I'd pay $7,000 for a magic shark. If the magic was cooler, I'd probably pay 8,000. But
yeah.
You got to go with the market.
Yeah.
I will say the magic shark market has become saturated lately. It's disgusting.
You say that having after just buying the shark, and you just told the guy that they're not what they used to be. Like, it seems like they're popping.
I'm like, thanks for the shark. These sharks suck now. Bye.
I thought it was the opposite. I thought it was like, oh my god, they're so valuable. Describe a hypothetical genius great aunt.
Okay, a hypothetical genius great aunt. This one's great. So you're sitting there. You're a grandchild, right? And you're talking there with your grandpa, and your grandpa's like, okay, so your Aunt Margaret's gonna be visiting today. Just don't bring up anything that has to do with like astrophysics, okay? And you're like, I'm 5 years old. What are you talking about? And then, you know, your great Aunt Margaret comes over and she sits down at the table, and it's a wonderful time. You know, she's chatting up, and you're learning so much. It's wonderful. And then you remember your grandpa said something about astrophysics, and you go, great Aunt Margaret, why did Grandpa bring up astrophysics? As soon as you see that, Grandpa's face drops. He's like, oh my God, no, please. Oh, jeez. For the next 16 hours, I know, it's the middle of the day when this starts. So yeah, she keeps you there overnight and keeps you up all night. All she does is bring you through everything that ever has happened in the history of astrophysics, as well as her numerous theories on multidimensional travel for the next 16 hours. And it's both the most amazing and tiring experience you've ever had in your whole life. Your grandpa's been, he fell asleep 10 hours ago, but you've been up the whole time. And that night when you go to sleep, you have dreams of multiversal travel just because of your genius great aunt.
I'm going to pitch it a little different. I like it. I'm going to pitch it a little different. I'm going to say it's like, it's one of those situations with like multiple family members living together. And it's kind of like your great aunt's sort of like around and stuff, and in the movie version of your life, whatever problem you're solving, like your great aunt just sort of like walks through, here's what's going on, and she's like, oh yeah, just do this, and like perfectly 100% nails the answer for socially whatever it is that you were dealing with and stuff, and everyone kind of just like writes her off, and they're like, oh, that's Aunt Kathy, like that's not like, you know, helpful. And then you know, later on in the movie we find out that like everything that she said was what the characters needed to do. So that's my go at it.
Actually, you know, I really think we're not doing this right. And here's the reason why. I don't think we're going crazy enough. This is a genius great aunt. It doesn't necessarily mean it's your great aunt in regards to, you know, it's your grandpa's sister or something, or your grandma's sister.
Right.
It could just be that there is a secret cult of ancient aunties that they're going to utilize the ancient fusion ritual to become the legendary genius great aunt who will take over the world one day as foretold in prophecy.
Like the Kwisatz Haderach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it basically, the great aunt is actually a great old one, and by doing this fusion, they become an eldritch being not unlike Cthulhu.
I like that you're elevating this. So if you're gonna do like a little bit of a fantasy ancient
it's sort of a
eldritch thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go sci-fi. So like So like the genius great aunt actually is a combination of human intelligence that has been aggregated over the years scientifically in some sort of like neuro lab, which combines machine learning with humanity to create this like perfect hybrid intelligence that has all the general intelligence of a human being and all of the specific intelligence of machine learning in an attempt, much like the movie Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, to like sort of attain a universal wisdom about the world. And that's
okay.
And then with our our ultimate life form or intelligence being that we've created, it turns out that it's really like heavily influenced by the Facebook posts of somebody's great aunt that it absorbed while it was reading through the entire internet. So it's like an all-knowing being, but it is
loves knitting.
It is anti-like in terms of its its like side character characteristics, like personality quirks.
I am all for this borderline sci-fi comedy.
Yeah, and if you ask her that, like, and it like it comes out especially whenever it's like a thing machines aren't supposed to do. So if you're like, what's the meaning of life? She's like, I don't know. I like cats.
I'm like, okay.
And then everyone is just like, oh damn, it was the cats the whole time. It was
cats. Oh my god. Meanwhile, it's just Aunt Margaret posting on Facebook.
Right. Yeah. 100%. All right, let's do this again. We got
brilliant.
I got more in me. I feel like we're actually. I feel like I'm getting warmed up at this point.
Oh yeah. We're starting to get into the swing of things now.
Yeah. Oh, let's see here. We got a. What? It still landed on parade. Go with peach. Go with peach.
Okay.
We heard it
What
tick
does a
past
spooky
it.
peach smell like? A spooky peach would smell like a regular peach, except there'd be the most delicate hint of ectoplasm, which has a spicy lemongrass scent. And you would also add in a little bit of candy corn because nobody likes candy corn. I like
Wait,
candy
what does
corn.
candy corn smell like, Bananiel? Go on.
Candy corn smells like a wax candle with sugar involved. And so basically you would have a spooky lemongrass peach that kind of smelled like a candle. So those like candles you can get from like Bed Bath and Beyond or something, and those ones that you get in
really
the
good.
gift packs. Yeah. It would smell really good. It would probably just taste funky, but it would smell delicious.
Yeah.
Maybe it would make excellent potpourri.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna go like the spooky peach. Like the first time you ever smelled peaches while something horrible was happening when you were a little kid. Like your parents thought it would be a good idea to everybody go to a haunted house, but you were 5 and it was deeply traumatic. So like the spooky peach is the smell of peaches, but every time you smell it, because smell is one of the oldest, most memory-inducing senses in the body, you smell the peach and then you're like, oh God,
I'm scared.
it's all gonna end. Like, it's like a deep.
Oh,
sense
you know what?
of,
Maybe you went to one of those haunted like corn mazes, except instead of a corn maze, it was a peach orchard.
Yes, and you went in the off season.
Yeah. So it smelled so strongly of peaches, but it was horrifying. So now you just associate peaches with fear.
Yeah, it seems like a David Eggers movie. No, David.
Yeah, I could.
Ari Aster movie. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Thinking of something that's getting some
Come
people.
on down to the spooky peach depot. Smells like candy corn. All right. In detail, describe a chatty cat lady. I feel like this one is borderline self-explanatory.
Right. Do you want something else?
Sure, because I feel like everyone's met a cat lady
Yeah.
before, and they do tend to be very chatty about their cats. So I feel like that's
Do a
someone
new
we all
noun.
know.
Do you want a new adjective too? We can do whatever we want.
No. Let's just do a new noun and see what comes up.
Right. Yeah. Describe a chatty space travel.
A chatty space. Okay, so you're sitting in this space pod, right? You got put out on a mission with someone you've never met before. It's the first time you've ever really been in a space pod with this person because you don't get to meet your partner before you get sent on these expeditions in this future space travel that exists. So you're sitting there, and you can tell already this is going to be maybe not uncomfortable, but definitely a little bit of an annoying space flight because you have a couple light years to travel, so it's going to take a little bit. And your partner looks over at you, and he gives you one of those fine weather we're having, huh? Oh boy, we got us a small talker for the next 8 hours. Before you finally fall asleep, this guy won't stop telling you about his favorite space sports team and his favorite space sports car and his favorite space TV shows. Here we go again. That's what chatty space travel would be like.
Here's what I'm gonna take it. It's you go into cryo sleep because there's such a long journey, as one often does in space travel. But one of your compatriots, one of your fellow travelers, can sleep talks the entire time. And because there's light years to go, they sleep talk, and everyone can hear them somehow. They sleep talk through all of their memories. And when everybody wakes up, everybody feels like they're Dave.
Oh my God, that's okay. I like that. They sort of been indoctrinated to become Dave.
Right, they all have a slightly different interpretation of it, and Dave's really freaked out when he wakes up, and they're all trying to figure out what it was, and it takes them a long time to get back in touch with their own memories because functionally everyone's been method acting in their sleep for the last several light years. And Dave's
Naturally.
been exhausted. Like all of his hopes and fears and all of his memories and stuff with infinite time comes a vast slate of Dave-related facts coming out of the sleep talking Dave.
As Dave is prone to do.
Right. He was already a little bit maybe a little self-indulgent and maybe not as inclusive in his conversations.
Yeah, so naturally it just got worse.
Yeah, he just got like a little bit too into it. Got a little too excited.
Too excited. He daved out a little too hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that.
He did.
An overactive Dave is a very difficult problem to deal with.
It sure is. Let's do another.
Yes. What's a good name?
For a cyberpunk. Would you take another cyberpunk space?
Yeah,
That's
a
number
cyberpunk coffee mug?
Yeah.
That's awesome. A cyberpunk coffee mug. What's a great name for a good name for a cyberpunk coffee mug? So cyberpunk, futuristic. Let's see. We're talking cyberpunk here, so we can use like Militech or some of those actual names or something. But a coffee mug. Okay. So
And tell me the story too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, before you can give it a name, you have to figure out exactly what a cyberpunk coffee mug does and what makes it cyberpunk. So what I'd imagine is the coffee mug is actually also the coffee pot, right? It live brews the coffee from the mug using, I don't know, some crazy cyberpunk technology. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of those, like this chip right here has the coating to turn the air that it absorbs into caffeinated liquid for you to consume. So it's an all-in-one. It's an all-in-one cyberpunk coffee mug. It makes the coffee. You can drink the coffee from it. It even cleans itself. That's how awesome this mug is with the advancement of cyberpunk technology. And if you have a cybernetic arm, you can get it implanted on the arm, so you'll always have a coffee cup ready for you, right? The coffee is people. Soylent Green, definitely not. But you know what? You could have people flavored creamer called Soylent Cream. Anyways, coffee mug. So. Let's see, the cyberpunk coffee mug that does it all. Cyberpunk, sci-fi, tech. I got to think of different words that make sense in the cyberpunk universe, right? Tech. I feel like tech might be the way to go with this. Tech. Let's see. Oh, wait. Okay. You know those places that every single place has the best cup of coffee in New York?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So this needs to be called, like, This needs to play on that meme that it's like the best cup of coffee in the world.
Yeah, maybe the most technologically advanced cup of coffee. Maybe
Yeah, something like that. How do we
maybe it's
shrink
like
that
an
down?
Apple presentation. You know what I mean? Like this is
like
our most
robot
advanced cup. Yeah,
robot Steve Jobs is out there and he's just like, this is our most advanced cup of coffee that exists. It is called the iDrink.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. All right. So here's my even more high concept, weird sci-fi cyberpunk interpretation. A bill of law is passed after the proliferation of mass artificial intelligence, because I'm riding high on our last thing, and
Naturally, yes.
And we in order to continue to be good humans, we've discovered that we have to like respect intelligence where it manifests. And a law is published saying that as part of the an intentional plan to respect manifested intelligence, we need to name things in order to imbue them with the respect that we as humans would give to one another as creatures experiencing pathos. So we must name certain objects as they appear, that as they accord to intelligence. And strangely, out of nowhere, the coffee cups, the coffee mugs, just happen to have like slid into the bill, and everyone's confused about it because it's like nothing's changed. Like we're still using our porcelain coffee mugs and stuff, but like legally everyone has to name their coffee mugs, and it becomes like a huge meme, and everyone gets little stickers that says "Hello, my name is" for all their coffee mugs, so they stay compliant. That's
dystopian and delicious.
Right, but it produces more empathy, which I think is like...
It does, yeah.
You know, that's what it's all about, baby. That's
my poor coffee cup.
That's what it's all about.
Ricky's been under the weather recently. He hasn't been producing coffee like he usually does.
Yeah. I'd say Banana Manual. I got like a couple more good, like maybe, like 2, 3, 4, something like that in me, and then I think we have like we've had a very successful show under our belt so far, and
Sounds like a plan.
yeah, I think at some point you do rest on your laurels. So, let me hook us up with some more of these bad boys.
Give me them prompts.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to answer them promptly.
Ooh, no, don't go to the fight. There we go. That's, nope, we got the gradient and the floppy already. I'm gonna generate you some new
I
ones
feel like
here.
it's the same thing as a floppy soccer ball.
Well, that's sort of misogynistic.
What? A soccer mom can't be a great aunt?
We got the rainbow already. I think we just need to get more prompts in the mix here.
Mayhabs. Oh, red colored.
Red colored VTuber? Nah, we did the VTuber thing.
Yeah.
I think one of the updates I want to make to this thing is I want to set it up so that every time it uses a prompt, it replaces it with one from a secret list. No, definitely don't do. Oh, God. Uncles. Okay.
Red colored uncle. How does a red colored uncle make you feel?
I think he's a communist.
Okay, that's fair. I guess I assumed that it was like a full like like the angry red Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured it was more akin like just very red. This uncle is just incredibly red. I think I'd always kind of figure he was a superhero, and so I'd always treat him very, very, very well. I'd be so unnecessarily nice because I'd figure that he's either a superhero or a supervillain, and either way, I want to be on his good side. So my red-colored uncle would be doted on by his superhero adoring nephew.
That's cool. That's lovely because there's like such a nice like dynamic between the two of them. I'm thinking about like you're sitting at the dinner table at Thanksgiving during 1960s McCarthyism, and like Uncle Ned just keeps saying weird stuff every once in a while, and he's like, "What about the product of our labor?" And everyone's like, "Oh, sheesh, it's like the climate out here. It's not exactly like." And like people keep ducking the question and stuff, and the answer is uncomfortable. It makes you feel uncomfortable because Uncle Ned is pushing at the boundaries of what we're collectively able to deal with in society at the moment.
Yeah, as your red-colored uncle would.
Right, totally. So that's it.
Interesting. I like putting it in the red scare time period.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's not that he's literally red. It's that he's like he has differing political views, which are unfavorable at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now it says red colored. What if he was like, what if he's like, he just dyed his hair like super duper red because he was actually a Ronald McDonald cosplayer, and that's how he made his money by just dressing up as Ronald McDonald?
Is that a thing? Is there Ronald McDonald cosplayers?
Of course there are.
I guess there's every kind of cosplayer, but it just seems
if
weird
it's a
to
character,
me.
especially a popular character, there will be a cosplayer for it. Most definitely, your red-colored uncle dyes his hair red so that he can make money as a Ronald McDonald cosplayer.
That's great. Let's do 2 more of these. How about 2 more?
Sounds good to me.
And then we'll take it out. We gotta get a prompt. We gotta. Oh, mighty wheel, what is your wisdom? Looks like you're gonna have to make him another song, but I think that's
okay.
I'm perfectly good with that.
I was like, I'm more than capable. A song about a murdery skeleton?
Yes, everybody wants that.
All right. A song about a murdery skeleton.
Yes, we all want that, Bananiel. That's what we came for.
Do you hear that rattling in the woods? You better get running, I think you should, or he's coming for you. The skeleton man. He uses bones to break your bones because they're harder than your bones. He will harvest them from you for dinner in his stew. He's the skeleton man.
And he'll eat all your skin. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Conceptually, where is his digestive tract? But he'll do it anyway, and your flesh he'll likely slay, because it's the nature of his very being. He's so murdery.
That's beautiful. The skeleton man is he move aside, Candyman. Move aside, Boogeyman. Here comes the skeleton man.
The murdery skeleton man.
The murdery skeleton man takes no prisoners.
I like that he's...
Unless he takes prisoners.
I like that he's murdery because, like, I don't know. Like, I play enough D&D where I'm like, if it's a skeleton is there, it's a murdery skeleton. So, like, just the fact that we had to state it, like, means that I have bad assumptions about skeletons, I think. Like, I'm kind of racist in the situation. You know what I mean?
You might be a little skeleton racist here.
Yeah. And it's messed up. All right.
I do like the idea though that like the skeleton man the murdery skeleton in question, the only reason why he like hunts humans is because he's been cursed that he has taste buds, but the only thing he can taste is human flesh, and he just misses eating food.
That's it. Yeah, and he's like,
it's like a worryingly innocent reason.
And it's a bummer for him too. It's like of all the things that he can
doesn't like
taste.
doing it. It's like, great, I'm known as the murdery skeleton man because I miss eating food. Sorry.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Are you ready for our final prompt wheel?
Born ready.
All right, let's do it. I hope it's a nice and fresh one. We've gone through a lot of prompts.
I think you still have the camera on me.
Oh, do I really? Yeah, I do. Oh, oops, sorry. Here's our final, we might have to re-roll anyways. Yeah, we do have to, because we got all of those.
I think we just have to, yeah.
It's, at this point, it's not even, like, coded badly, it's just that we've been through all these prompts.
Yeah, we've just been through most of the prompts, yeah.
Yeah, it's the sign, it's time to go. Come on, give me another one. Yeah, no, we've been through a lot of these. Yeah, oh my gosh, we've been through, like...
I think we've done almost all of them.
I was having too much fun. Yeah, we need, I guess we might have to reuse one. You know what? I'll let you change either the adjective or the noun with whatever you like.
Okay, let's change the noun.
Okay.
But to what? You pick a noun.
Cloud. No, that's dumb. Aggressive cloud? Yep, that's it now.
I can work with that. Okay, describe a hypothetical hyper-aggressive cloud. Okay, so this cloud, right? This cloud has been filling up with water. It is the biggest cloud in the sky. And let me tell you, it is pissed because all of the water it's been filled up with has been wasted water from humanity. And the absolute anger that this cloud feels is so intense that it has now been purposefully storing this water. It's like, no. I'm not just gonna let it all go at once. No. Let me store it up for a while. So it becomes the largest cloud in the world, and it goes over the place it hates the most. And what does a cloud hate the most? But
Florida.
The desert.
Oh, yeah, that too, or that.
So the cloud goes to the desert and it finally decides, I'm going to let all this water go. And it releases all of its water at once. Unfortunately for humanity, it's enough water to cause a tidal wave in the middle of the Arizona desert going all the way to New York City. So the amount of water decimates the United States because of this hyper-aggressive cloud that is so done with humanity's bullshit. And congratulations, humanity, you angered a cloud so much that you ended the world.
Yeah, and I would just like to add that at some point during the formation of this world-wrecking monsoon, the cloud looks just like a hand putting up a middle finger. That's it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's all it is.
That's exactly what happens. You hate to see it, but you love to see it.
Yeah. Oh well, guess it's on us for messing up the planet.
Yeah, we shouldn't have pissed off that cloud. Be careful what clouds you piss off. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know. It could happen at any time, really. You're just one bad day away.
Exactly. You're just one wasted car wash away from pissing off the wrong cloud.
Well, Bananiel, it's been a delight. It's been fantastic having you. You have brought so much, and you bring so much to your community and to the VTuber community. you're the real deal.